You're fired.
I don't think
You're
I
fired.
First of all, is that a real thing?
It has to be, right?
I'm sorry. If you're not washing your ass, dude,
You're nasty.
Yeah.
you're fucking nasty. Because then if you're not washing your ass, you ain't washing your taint.
Okay, so I'm gonna be bougie. I'm sorry, but I like the one with the
AJ's
handle.
gonna be
that you-
bougie? No way. Shocking. I'm sorry, but Charlotte is
payoff,
god
they
level
don't-
when it comes to
Yeah.
pro wrestler, dude.
She's like, and she knows it too.
The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MACKDOWN Podcast. Starring any combination of the following. Introducing Mikey MacD, Mr. A.J. Mitchell, Cam, and Kimmy. It's the MACKDOWN Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to this week's edition of the MACKDOWN Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing? It's good to see everybody.
Indeed, we got AJ over there.
How you doing in my fun house? Fun house.
Yes, the Firefly Funhouse background is it's epic. Got
Epic.
myself Kimmy, of course, Mr. B over here,
Hello, hello, hello.
and my brother, Mr. Mac D,
That's me.
eating some Southwestern eggs.
Trying to wolf him down, sorry.
No, I had some eggs this morning too. That keto, man. We're on that keto. It's working. Just a quick keto. We haven't had a keto update in like forever, but just a quick keto update. I'm down to 205, so I'm 5 pounds away from my goal weight.
205 live.
Going strong. 205
Nice,
live, babe. Man, I could actually qualify for 205 right now. Look at me. I'm a cruiserweight. Oh my
Wow,
god.
AJ the cruiserweight. Who knew?
What?
You know what? I think I weigh like 100 pounds more than you.
No way.
Yeah, last time I weighed, I was like 315 or 312 or some shit.
There's no way, bro.
Well, I'm not on keto, but I've been like fasting in the morning and stuff, and I've lost about 25 pounds so far. So
Oh shit! There you go. See,
good for
those
me.
are those big victories, man. Those big victories. I love it.
It's amazing what portion control and like not drinking bullshit will do for you. You know?
It's really just the portion control, man. Like, you could still eat the bullshit, but if you portion everything out, because even like Adam, so the Blue Joker, so he basically started doing fasting, but he's fasting for like 20 hours a day.
Damn.
So he only gives himself a 4-hour window to eat, and he eats whatever the fuck he wants. But that's it, and he's lost like almost 30 pounds.
Wow. Hell yeah.
It's
Hell
just all
yeah.
about discipline, man. You
Yeah.
just have to stay disciplined and not deviate. You know
just
what I
got to
mean?
fight through that hunger feeling. You're like, nah,
Right.
just
It's
drink
2
water.
weeks. It's 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks are the worst. Yeah, and they say if you're feeling hungry, drink water, drink coffee, drink. You know what I mean?
Oh, I forgot.
Coffee has
coffee.
been my friend.
Go get
But
it.
you're definitely right. There's definitely a control thing. You know, I had it in the beginning. I mean, I didn't have it in the beginning. I didn't thought I could do this. And once again, I always praise you, Mr. Mac, because giving me the idea and just telling me stick with it. You're gonna have your moments. And I mean, what, almost 50 pounds, bro? Like,
It's a lot, dude. Yeah, you've lost a lot of weight.
Oh my god!
Because I think you did start around 250, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was around 256.
Yeah. So you've lost 50 pounds.
50 pounds, bro, and I'm like,
And you didn't even exercise, bro. All you did was just play some disc golf, and I'm not gonna
And
say you
ate
didn't
right.
exercise. You got out and did like that subtle exercise. You
right,
know.
and I did it daily, and I walked daily, at least 2 miles a day, walking that field, playing
Well,
it
yeah,
twice.
because you
know?
played twice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I wheeled up my cardio in the morning and stuff. I want to get back to that. It's getting cold, but definitely, like I said, for all those listening out there who are feeling like they want to lose some weight and stuff like that, like, it doesn't matter what you do, just do it. and stick to it.
Yeah,
and have some perseverance.
All
bro.
you got to do is just start, man. They
Yeah,
always
just
say
start.
they always say once you start, that's half the battle right there. Is just starting. You know. So
I'll tell you that those first 2 weeks was crap. I felt like crap with the keto flu when I first got it. I was like, what's going on? But then we saw results, man. What, I lost like 10 pounds in 2 weeks? I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, well, because they
Like-
say that when you're doing keto, basically the initial changes that happen is your body weight, is like the water weight. So because you cut your sugar, so your water weight kind of cuts way down. So that's the initial boom. That's the initial like 10, 15, even sometimes 20 pounds. It just depends, man. Then you just got to stick with it. And the hardest part is just sticking with it, man, because like it's really easy to get discouraged. But for me personally, keto, I can only do it for a certain stretch of time. You know what I mean?
Right. We went 3, almost 4 months hard. Well, I mean, I went almost 6 months, and that damn near killed me. One thing with keto, 2 things I'll tell you with keto, I should say. One, you can't do it for like
You
years.
can't do it forever. Yeah.
You can't do it forever.
I mean, you
It's
can,
quick.
but it's just, dude, it's hard,
Right.
man. It's tough.
Right. And I've added, certain carbs. Like I have my cheat days, things of that nature, stuff. And the second thing I tell you, if you're on keto and you're on keto hard, alcohol is your enemy.
You will
Do
black
not
the fuck
drink.
out.
I will tell you from personal experience, with Mr. Mack and the rest of the team bear witness to it. If you're drinking while you're on keto and you don't control, if you think you know, you don't. If you
No,
think
dude,
you know,
your diet's so clean that all the alcohol, it's sugar, bro. You know what I mean? So it's a
Yeah.
shock to your body.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, dude. By the way,
Oh, what did you step on?
I don't know. I told Mike yesterday I came down here and I touched the bottom of my foot and I was like, "Ow, the fuck was that?" And it just hurt. It was really like tender, and I'm like, "God damn!" And I woke up today. There's a huge ass bruise on the bottom of my foot,
ooh,
That damn sure is a big bruise.
dude. It hurts.
did
dude.
you hit it on
Bruises on the
anything, or have
bottom
you-
of your feet are the worst too, man. Like if you step on like an acorn or like something like that, you know what I mean?
I must have
Yeah.
stepped on something, but I don't physically remember doing it. So obviously, when it happened, it didn't affect me enough to go, "Oh, that's gonna hurt later." You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the bottom of your feet's sensitive, man.
Mine are. Don't tickle it. I'd piss my pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, don't tell me that. I like
You
ribbing
could-
people.
No, don't touch my feet, bro. No, but feet
Don't
are
touch my
disgusting.
feet, bro.
Don't touch,
That was such a sincere, like, don't, please just don't. Okay.
don't touch, don't touch my feet.
It's like dad with the belly button. You know what I mean?
That was, yeah.
It just is
don't
like it's like a, I don't know, man. It just
Automatic
stands
trigger.
out. Yeah, it's just an automatic trigger. Like I have to fuck with it.
Well, plus he had a big
No.
beer belly, so it was just like,
I will
Always out
always
there.
wear shoes.
Yeah, dad shit was like, don't touch my belly button because it makes me have to pee. So of course we're like, oh,
Oh,
yeah, like, why would you tell me that? Now I'm going to do that all the time.
yeah, I'm a
why
heel,
would you
dude.
tell me that? Yes, I have a foot phobia. I do not like being touched with feet. Feet are just like I touch Kara's feet once in a while. It's my little girl, you know what I mean. But once she hits a certain age, like EJ, no, that's 10-year-old feet. That
You're like
those feet have been
it's like
around.
you step in dog shit with those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
like,
all up
oh.
through the toes and shit. Like I remember those days when I was a
Oh.
kid,
I
walking
have
around
never-
barefoot.
Never, not once have I stepped
Nah.
on dog shit barefoot.
Are you serious? Ever
Never.
in your life?
Hell
Never.
no.
Oh my god, dude, I've done it multiple times where you're just running through the yard.
Oh.
Mike just runs with reckless abandon. He's just like, "Ah."
Well, yeah, you're out playing football or tag, whatever, freeze tag when you're a kid or whatever, and you're barefoot. You run around, you step in a fucking pile, and it goes through your toes and shit.
No.
It's the
That
fucking
is-
worst.
Mr. B, have you ever stepped in dog shit barefoot?
Not
Once
Not like
in my
that.
life.
Like
But I was
that?
a kid.
I was a kid. I'm talking like under
Wasn't-
8 years old. Like it was, but it's vivid. It's a vivid, terrible memory of mine.
The squishing through the toes is probably what got you.
Oh,
It was.
No, see, that would wreck me for life, bro.
It's pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Dude,
stepped in
I
dog
mean,
shit like with a shoe, but not like.
How about this? You guys know that weird fact about me. I cannot shower without wearing shower shoes. It's just I just can't do it. I don't know why. It's just weird. I do not like my
Well,
feet
they
touch-
say your feet absorb a lot of,
stuff.
like the bacteria. and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Your feet will absorb a lot of that shit.
Yeah. So it's just I'm weird. I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, that's
man.
how I noticed the bruise in the shower this morning as I was washing my feet.
Well, you noticed it last night. Well, not the actual bruise, but it was sore last night when you were
I
down
just
here.
think me.
Yeah, dude. That's totally me. I'm just bounced on one fucking foot in the shower like, what the fuck? Well, because there was this thing going around like, oh, do people like wash their legs in the shower? Or do they just let the water like run down their body? I'm like, okay, first of all, who the fuck's not scrubbing their whole body? Like,
exactly.
I wash my feet, my legs, everything. Like, not
everything.
Yeah.
If
they're
it's on me,
like,
it's
I
gonna
just
get
wash
some
my
soap and
torso
water.
and my arms and my armpits, and that's it, and my ass.
Yeah. Like everything below, like my thigh,
fuck
doesn't
my
get
thighs,
touched.
fuck my knees, fuck my calves and feet. Yeah, that's weird.
That's super
Yeah,
weird.
I'm just gonna let the dirty, soapy water just run through it from the dirt that I've already collected from the top of my body.
Well, dude, that's
Just
like that
settle.
that social media post where it's like it'll have a video and it's like, oh, there he is, the guy that
yeah.
takes a shower and doesn't spread his butt cheeks or whatever.
let the
Imagine how
water
bad
out.
that smells. It's like, first of all, is that a real thing?
It has to be, right?
That I'm sorry, if you're not washing your ass, dude,
You're nasty.
Yeah.
you're fucking nasty. Because then if you're not washing your ass, you ain't washing your taint.
Oh.
You ain't washing like
All that has to
that
be-
oh god, dude,
They
how
got
do you live?
From under cheese, man.
That's no shit.
It's a real thing.
It's a real
Dude,
thing.
you just have to start from the top and work your way down. I literally do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
shampoo and condition my hair, wash my face, wash my body, get my legs and my feet, and
Yep.
then I'm done.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, and I'm a big
Yeah.
dude. I lift stuff. I make sure, you know what I mean. I'm angling in the shower. I'm doing some gymnastics.
You're doing math angles.
well, I even have like, the stupid like handle thing that you take off the shower with the hose, so you just get it back, like spray the whole thing.
Yeah.
It goes
dude.
yeah.
Shit, sometimes I go over stuff twice just to make sure.
Yeah, depending on the
me?
day, right? Yeah, man. If it's been a hard ass long
yes.
day, you got to scrub, man.
Especially my armpits and shit.
Now here's another question: do you guys use like some people only like put soap on their hands and use their hands?
Oh, no.
I
No.
personally use a washcloth or a rag. I need something durable.
I need
to
abrasion.
scrub.
I used to be that guy until I discovered the loofah.
Yeah, the
Because I
loofah's
thought
nice.
the loofahs were for girls back then. Manly stuff. You're like, oh, that's not manly. I'm not gonna. What's a fucking loofah?
First
The
of all,
fuck?
we're aging ourselves so bad because we were alive when the loofah was fucking invented.
I know, but I never
Yeah.
was. I never was a loofah guy. I always just used like a rag, like you. Like I used
I
the
like the
fucking rag.
washcloth, yeah.
But yeah, now I'm like, since I've actually discovered the loofah within the last, I don't know, since I've lived here.
Dude, plus they're $1. You just switch them out every month or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do like the loofah, but my favorite type of loofah are the ones. Okay, so I'm gonna be bougie. I'm sorry, but I like the one with the handle.
AJ's gonna be
that you-
bougie? No way. Shocking.
I like the one with the handle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That you can like get all in, and it's like it's a little bit more like loofah, so
More-
it's not
more
like so
fibrous.
loose. It's-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just feel like that exfoliates my skin so bad because my back is dry. I mean, I know we're getting so off subject,
Dude,
but
I just
You know, I
specifically remember a commercial back in the day where they're like, loofahs are not just for girls. And it's like some big burly dude sitting there with like taking a shower with men's body wash with it or whatever.
yes,
I still
And you
want
gotta
to
have a
try
good
that
body
Mr.
wash.
Squatch.
I actually just looked at that the other day. It's like $30 for the bundle, and I was
Yeah.
like,
You get a lot though.
But you get 3 bars,
Yeah.
like with just the little bundle
Is it?
for
And
the
the
for
bar
the cheap
lasts
one.
you for so
a
long as
soap?
it is. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all like what
all
natural,
natural,
yeah,
all
natural
natural
ingredients. They got like a pine tar. They got a fucking. They got
Yeah,
like
they
a
got
bunch
some
of
weird
different
names.
ones, dude.
They actually got a Star Wars edition. Mm-hmm. Which
But
is
yeah.
like 4 different ones.
Apparently, it smells really good.
Well, they said if we do want to start with one, that we should go with Bay Rum.
Bay rum.
See, I don't. Man, for me, I like the
would
the
probably like that
pine.
one.
I like the fucking
They do have one that's called Fresh Falls that they
like
recommended
citrus. You know what I mean?
You like an earthier smell, Mike?
Yeah, I do.
as
Yeah.
well. Pine tar.
Damn.
Not sponsored, but we could be.
Hey,
Shout
Squatch,
out
Dr.
squatch it up.
Squatch.
I'm a fan of
Squash it
I'm a
up.
fan of Sasquatch. I think it's real.
Yeah, I want to try
It
it.
says squash it up.
Squash all you want. Good things are coming.
Well, they say with all the soap, with all the shit that you see nowadays, it's just
Chemicals after chemicals.
yeah, it's like a synthetic detergent. It's not really soap, so it's like you're fucking ruining your skin.
That's why you got to
But,
moisturize,
you know.
baby Dove. I mean, Dove it's expensive, but I love the moisturization in my skin, bro.
Dude,
Same
I
shit,
see.
bro.
I
It's
use
the
Dove
same
body
thing.
wash because it's the best.
But anyway, I know that we just been talking about showering and washing our ass and everything. But speaking of washing asses,
We
I
are
mean,
some clean motherfuckers.
the WWE just washed their ass with all the releases they just fucking
Yeah, they
got.
fucking did.
I got it queued up. And we'll get it. We'll get it during.
I was gonna say, AJ, if you want to go ahead and we'll get into AJ's yard real quick. You can give us the rundown of what we're gonna talk about, minus the shower ass.
Yeah.
Well, it's the shower ass. You're hilarious. Well, so we'll definitely go over there. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for AJ's Yard. Straight from AJ's Playhouse, because I am taking renovations, and I decided to take over Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt's been sending over some crazy tweets. We're gonna jump into that. Definitely didn't mean to start off with that, but hey, it's Firefly. This behind me.
Correction, it's not Bray Wyatt. It's Wyndham Rotunda. Bray Wyatt's dead, bro.
Bray Wyatt's dead.
That's why I got your house, Bray. It's my house, middle of the street. Yes. So speaking of that, we had a lot of change in the WWE. Apparently, some change was said all through the WWE this week because 18 stars were released. We're going to see what that is all about. We're going to dive into that, see the jam-packed news that has spread and the shockwaves that has spread through not only the WWE but the world of wrestling. I can't wait to dive into that. Also, we're going to be talking about Survivor Series coming up soon. The two teams have been addressed and been released, and I am looking at them now and saying, what the
yeah.
Anyway, Aaliyah? Yeah, that's going to be discussed. And also, AEW news. We're going to start with Miro and Daniel Bryanson. Well, we're not going to start with it, but we're going to talk about it because they're going to... Bryan Danielson. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm in the funhouse, man. I'm creeped out by this girl behind me just standing there. She's not even
staring. She's breathing on your neck.
Breathing. I mean, the hot, heavy, wet breath is just, it's arousing. It's arousing. Speaking of arousing... Moxley checks in the inpatient facility talking about his alcohol. That's a horrible transition, but I transitioned anyway. But shout out to Moxley for real. When you have help, when you need help, I should say, always reach out. Moxley did. We're going to jump into that a little bit. And speaking of help, Britt Baker thinks the WWE development needs some because she went on a rampage, no pun intended, and decided to talk a lot of crap about WWE developmental. We're going to touch into that as well. And that's about everything we're going to look at, including some fantasy, because fantasy is always a cool thing to talk about, especially when the leader of the thing.
Hey, you may be the leader, but you were the second loser this week as far as points go. So,
listen. Hey, listen.
The second loser. Oh yeah. No, he was the loser.
No, he had the. Oh, excuse me. You were the first loser this week. So.
I had the worst. You had the worst
score. You had the worst score this week.
But you're still top scoring for some fucking reason.
Yeah, we can get right into that if you want to.
Jump right into that. We can turn it over to you guys back in studio, and that's AJ's Yard this week, live from the Funhouse.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and take it over from here then. So with the fantasy, everybody pretty much has stayed the same as far as the 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. All that has stayed the same, but the weekly ranks this week. So in last place, the first place is AJ with 5 points total. And then Mr. B had 6, Kimmy had 7, I had 12, and Cam had 13 points. So not big scores this week. Yeah, it was kind of a down week all the way around. So with that being said, like I said, all the standings are still the same. AJ with 185 at first place, Kimmy with second place 167. Cam is in third with 154. I am in fourth with 150, and Mr. B is in last with 122. So,
boo.
Was there a lot of
I thought Charlotte had a match and won.
No.
Last Friday.
Friday night? No, she didn't even show up Friday night. You're thinking of last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of last week.
Yeah,
this week she didn't even show up at all. Wow. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of in the agreements with Kimmy, man. Like once we do the shakeup, I'm thinking about getting rid of AEW altogether, man, because
it's just too flip floppy, man. You don't know.
Well, it's just like you're on Dynamite and then you're not on Rampage, or you're on Rampage and then you're not on Dynamite. So it's just like very rarely the only person that's on the show every fucking week is Punk. Punk is the only one that's getting double points every fucking week for AEW right now. Him and maybe Adam Cole.
Yeah, dude, because look, Darby got me 0 and fucking Orange Cassidy got me negative. So it's like they're either getting me negative or nothing. So it's like really not helping me.
Yeah, well, Orange Cassidy had 0 on Dynamite because he lost to Miro. so he had the match, lost, and that's all he had. He had no promos or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then he didn't show up on Rampage, so he got you the -2.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, I'm just gonna say nobody's doing as bad as Sheamus, so I don't want to hear it.
That
motherfucker's got -11 points since I put him in.
Yeah, dude, he's the only one with negative, actually. Oh, nope, that's a lie. Excuse me. Hangman Page does have -1 total overall.
Yeah, which is weird because they're pushing him to the moon, man.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, huh?
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
And I have to, speaking of which, we jumped right into it. I have to officially move Cameron Grimes into Moxley's spot.
Yep.
Oh, are you gonna officially do that, bro? You're gonna do that, huh?
Well, I mean,
I'm just you got to play devil's advocate too, because I just don't want you to fall in a situation like Sheamus did, where I took Alexa out because she's not going to be on TV, and I put Sheamus in, and now I would have been better off just keeping Alexa in,
Literally, yeah.
getting those 0 points instead of -2 every fucking week, dude. So just choose wisely. That's all I can say.
And then you're going to be responsible to watch fucking NXT every week. That's all I know.
Oh, I know NXT's been my break because I just don't fucking give a shit about NXT right now, dude.
Same.
It's been so... Look here, man. I tried to watch it this week, and as soon as they did that shit where dude came out with Robert Stone, and he's like, I'm here to kick your ass, and then all of a sudden HBK's music starts playing, and he's like, I'm just a sexy boy.
Dude, I
and he's
cried.
dancing.
I cried.
Bro,
I
that
thought
shit's
was
dumb.
Hilarious.
That shit was stupid. I turned it off and I deleted it. I didn't even care anymore. I was like, I don't even give a shit. 'Cause this is what we're doing with NXT now. It's Raw Light, and Raw is not good. So why would I watch Raw Light?
Yeah, even Roman Reigns said Raw sucks. So
Yeah, he sure fucking did. He said he's gone for 1 week, and he's like, it's almost as bad as Monday Night Raw.
yeah, like way to talk shit about your own brand. It's fine.
But it's true. It's true, man. But just like, you know, and a lot of the things... We can get into the releases now, but like a lot of the things were said that, you know, it's not so much the character development as much as it is the booking. So apparently whoever's booking these shows right now they're so out of touch. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I don't think it's Vince McMahon, dude, because there was an article I just read. It was something about how... I don't even want to state it because I'd be speaking out of tongue because I don't really know exactly what it said. I just read the headline. But it was to the effect of like, you know, it's not Vince that's making these decisions. It's what's the dude's name? Khan? What's his first name?
Nick
Khan. It's him and some of the other financial gurus that are making these decisions to fire these folks. And Vince is just like, okay, if that's what you say. And here's my thing. How can you own and run a company and literally have no say-so in what the fuck's going on?
He just doesn't care, dude. He's making so much money hand over fist now. He's just like, yeah, do whatever makes me the money, whatever.
See, hold on. I don't believe that's the case. Mike, back to your original question. I don't think that it's him saying he doesn't have a choice or a decision. I think of more of that. He has bigger things on his plate.
Like what? What's bigger than the WWE right now?
That's his fucking plate. His whole plate is WWE.
No, I mean within the company. God, of course the WWE is number one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like, what's more important than your talent that is keeping your fucking shit afloat, though? Like, what bigger fish do you have to fry than the talent that is running your company, basically?
How about day-to-day operations outside of that? You have a corporate.
That's what you have the other people for. Then you do the day-to-day operations for your company. Let those other financial people do all that other bullshit.
What they're doing. And that's what they're doing.
No, bro.
Like you just said, talent is a part of the product, bro. It's on the sheet.
No, dude.
Everything on that sheet.
He's not even involved in creative, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's where his bread and butter needs to be, is right there in creative. That's what he does. He's Walt Disney, bro. He needs to write the shows. He does not need to be worrying about the other bullshit. That's what everybody else is there for. All the other 30 fucking financial officers or whatever they got.
The board.
He doesn't need to worry himself with that shit. He needs to worry about the stories that are being...
So it's like what Bill Gates did, how Bill Gates stepped down as CEO of Microsoft to go work back into the development of the software, because that's where his bread and butter was. That's what he did.
That's what he should do. Mm-hmm. Bill Gates don't have a fucking giant ego like Vince McMahon does either, though.
I was just about to say that. He's too much of an egotistical fucking asshole to be like, No, I want to run everything, basically, and not...
But he's not running anything is the problem, though. He writes a couple storylines for, like, the big time stories, and that's it, dude.
No, that's what I mean.
You know?
Even, like, last week when I was like, oh, too many fucking hands in the pot, that's basically, like, even Vince McMahon, he's doing too fucking much. He needs to focus more on just, the creative and the talent and less on
I don't think he's doing anything. I don't think he's doing hardly anything, man. Because here's the thing: even when AJ Styles, like when they let go of the Good Brothers, right? When they let go of fucking Anderson and Gallows, they basically when AJ Styles confronted Vince McMahon and was like, "Hey." Because Paul Heyman told him that it wasn't his call. Paul Heyman was just being told what to do. And when AJ Styles went to Vince and basically called him out on it, Vince fucking faded the heat and said it wasn't his decision. He said this was the recommendation of so and so and so and so, and he's like, okay, this is not what I would have done, but okay, this is what they said that needs to be done, which tells me that Vince doesn't even fucking know what's going on in his own company.
No,
that's a fucking problem.
That, like you said, he hired people to do those and make
right
those
because
decisions.
he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know what's happening in his own company, bro.
Is it that he doesn't know or that he doesn't care?
Or he's lying. Or he's lying straight up because, in my opinion, how do you get rid of those guys? You know what I mean? But again, if we look at all the names...
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go through these names.
If we look at all the names that got released, a majority of them are quote-unquote pro wrestling mentality, like mindset folks. You know?
Yeah, like Nia Jax.
Well, no. they're saying like Keith Lee had attitude issues. Of course he does, because it's like you bring him up, you change his character fucking 20 different times in a span of a year and a half. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're not allowing him to go get over, and that's what all these guys are there for, is to get over.
Look at the Keith Lee in the Rumble that year with Brock. Are you telling me you didn't have a superstar in the making right there?
Right. They did. And that Keith Lee, and that's the thing. You have to figure these people out. You have to know who these people are so you can kind of gauge their stories based on their personalities. Right now, they don't give a fuck about who you are and your personality. You're literally there to play a role. But that's their problem. They're hiring fucking pro wrestlers to be professional actors. You can't do that. That's not going to work. So that's why all these people that they're getting rid of, Keith Lee, Ember Moon, Karrion Kross, fucking, we're not going to consider Nia Jax because she's not wrestling minded. Sorry, she's just whatever. She's hurt minded.
Yeah.
But
the Hurt Machine, baby.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like Grand Metal League, all these pro wrestlers, dude. Oni Lorcan, these are all pro wrestlers. Yeah, Mia Yim, pro wrestler. They're not actors, you know what I mean? And the only reason why they're keeping Seth around and Roman and all these guys is because they can actually fall into that actor role.
So isn't professional wrestling the sports entertainment aspect of it more?
No, dude, it's not. That's what Vince McMahon created, was sports entertainment. Yep. Pro wrestling is not sports entertainment.
Never was meant to be that.
It's supposed to be pro wrestling.
Yep.
You know, they're never the whole, and Ric Flair will tell you that too. He thinks that
but
pro
isn't
wrestling,
it a show?
Yes, it is now. It is now. That's what they consider it now.
Been that way?
Can you turn my headset down just like a scoosh?
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's not you guys. It's just, I think my headset's just a little loud. All right, thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, no, dude, like Ric Flair said it himself. Pro wrestling died when Vince McMahon said, this is now sports entertainment. Because kayfabe, brother?
Yeah.
Brother? You know what I mean? Like, it was a thing, like, everybody knew what wrestling was, but they just kayfabed it. You know what I mean? We're just going to make you think this is what it is. They're going to have the gray line, and you know what I mean?
They told a story that blurred reality, because you're like, wait a minute, are these guys really like this outside the ring too? Or like,
and they played that. When they were in public, they were kayfabe, dude.
You couldn't ride with the good guy, couldn't ride with the bad guy.
Right. But we all know what it is. But yes, and now it's being way more portrayed and thrown into our face that it is just a soap opera, television program. But that's Vince McMahon. When you watch AEW, you don't think that.
He could have gotten away with this type of program 20 fucking years ago when there wasn't a Twitter and an Instagram and a fucking, you can follow everybody's personal real life at all times. You know what I mean? So it's like, doesn't make any sense.
So kayfabe would make more sense nowadays than it would
more than ever, dude.
More than ever. And and here's the thing, and this is why I think AEW in our minds is getting over a little bit more, because we see the people on TV and those are the same people we see on social media. It's not like this character and then all of a sudden over here you're besties with your enemy or whatever. It's like, okay, well, you're going to play this role on TV, but then literally do the exact opposite on social media than what you just did on TV. So it makes no fucking sense. You should play up to the reality of it. You should play up to the, everybody's a little bit more real kind of a thing. Because, dude, even when they were having Baron Corbin, he was fucking posting shit on his own personal Instagram when he was in Vegas, like, oh, I'm winning fucking money, and just like just you would be like me and you, like, oh, I'm in Vegas, I'm having a good time, and then they played that into the show, which is like perfect. But then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this like fight, but then on Total Divas, our show, these two girls are besties or whatever, and you're getting like the whole backstory behind everything. And
to me, that's why. They want to talk about this quote unquote reality era, but they don't want to stay consistent with their stories when it comes to that.
Right.
Because like you said, that's what kind of going back to what we were talking about last week. Does the real life animosity between people make for a better program for us to watch? Because it does blur that line. It blurs the reality a little bit to where it's like, hey man, I'm invested in this story now because I don't know if this is real life heat or if they're really mad or, who knows? Like, dude, when Charlotte and fucking Nia went off and threw some live rounds at each other in the ring, dude, I was like, I'm fucking curious on what's going to happen next week. Like, what are they going to do?
Well, speaking of Charlotte, it sounds like she's been wanting to get out of fucking WWE altogether lately.
I mean, she's disgruntled. I mean, apparently she's been tough to work with. You know what I mean? Like, her attitude apparently has been bad, but they're not going to get rid of her. She's going to have to do something to basically just get fired. I mean, she's going to have to play the Bray role and, play the role where she's just so disgruntled. They're going to be like, we have no choice but to let her out of this contract because she's just too difficult to work with.
I mean, and a lot of people are probably doing that because now AEW is a place to go because they kind of had the monopoly on if you wanted to be a professional wrestler and actually get paid, you had to be in WWE, dude. You know what I mean? You had to be. Like,
and not to mention, like, they're all friends. Like, AEW locker room and WWE locker room are all friends. They're all friendly. Like, Adam Cole's been he's been backstage at AEW for the last 2 years. Yeah. Because Britt's been there. So he's back there.
Well, I mean, even Lana's back there. I mean,
I'm sure Charlotte's back there. So, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things.
Probably not publicized as much.
Right. And she would get in mega trouble if they found out she's backstage, on her off days at AEW. But it's like, fuck you, man. Like, first of all these wrestlers are independently contractors. They're all on a 1099, right? Right. So when they sign a quote unquote contract, they don't have to be exclusive legally. You know what I mean? They're 1099. They can literally go do whatever the fuck they want.
So doing like, real life stories and bringing it into like, so AEW this week when Bryan Danielson was fighting Anthony Bowens. Who's the dude that raps with him? I forgot his name.
Max Caster.
Okay. Dude, it was hilarious because they were doing little digs at him basically. And they're like talking about him growing cucumbers and like, him being on his wife's show and talking shit about his, father-in-law and all this bullshit. So I think that shit is
gold.
Yes, dude. And that's what they're missing at WWE. It's like, why not pull the real life shit in there? You know what I mean?
It makes everything better because it does blur those lines.
It does.
You know what I mean? And then, like I said, man, that real life competition needs to come back.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of all the titles in WWE. They need one world title, one singles title, the whole bit, because it just makes for a better programming, man. Because, they don't have enough people on that roster legitimately to have that competition level. If you look at the women's rosters for both shows, like it's like a total of like 15 girls between the two shows. How do you do that? How do you have and you got a women's tag title too? Like,
and let's talk about
just released a bunch too.
Yeah, so it's so dumb.
Well, and then they released some of the good ones, like Eva Marie can go fuck off. Yeah, like no one wants to see her anyway. Like, why'd you even bring her back?
Yeah, nobody's wanted to see her,
dude. No, so like
except for Vince,
dude. To me, like, okay, yeah, she's quote unquote.
Did she get released though?
She did.
Yeah, she did.
She's a part of that list. Yeah.
So that's definitely not wrestling-minded person. So there's two.
But then they keep what's her face that was with Matt Hardy the other day. What's her fucking name?
I forget.
Oh, Jeff Hardy.
Did I say Matt? I'm an asshole.
Aaliyah, yeah.
Bro,
Oh,
she's got
wow.
no business. She had no business being in NXT. So the fact that they brought her to the main roster, I'm literally baffled.
Dude, and then look at what she's
And
fucking
she was
wearing.
drafted, wasn't she? She was literally drafted.
She was drafted. Yeah, and it makes no... Yeah, and she's wearing just,
Not even like wrestling gear, really. It's like, bitch, first of all, you don't even have underwear on under there, obviously. I mean, just saying, just throwing it out there, because it's like all cut out on the sides and stuff. It's like,
Yeah, I need to
cool.
take
So
some
you're going to go
more.
wrestle in that? Like,
It makes no sense. I don't understand why. And I mean, even speaking of her, we can transition into the Survivor Series teams. She's on the women's Survivor Series team.
Yep.
How? Why?
Yeah.
For what?
Yep.
She literally hasn't even had a match on SmackDown yet. But
Welcome
yet,
to the
but yet,
WWE, ladies and gentlemen.
well, but dude, here, well, my
But
thing
that's
is
what
too,
they're looking for in this whole fucking new WWE.
Well, she's the wild card, bro. She's the wild card. What if she comes in there and she just been working, and she's like one of the best chicks you've ever seen in
She's
wrestling?
not though, bro. She's not. She's been in
I'm
NXT
sorry.
for fucking 15 years. It feels like.
Mike didn't even let that fester.
dude,
for
I
like
didn't even know who
3
the fuck this
seconds.
bitch was, and I've been watching wrestling, so
I didn't even know who she was.
literally.
She literally has no business being on television. Number one,
She's only had a handful of matches on NXT, I think.
she was with, and they keep pairing her with all these different people. She's never been good. I mean, I think she was on Tough Enough.
Didn't
if I'm
she?
not mistaken, she was on Tough Enough, like the most recent version of it, with Mandy Rose and Sonya and all them, and she still has not figured this shit out. She
Dude,
still has not figured
Tough
this
Enough
shit
is
out.
a glorified fucking real world where they're like, oh, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot. Okay, you're on the show. That's
Yeah.
literally all that fucking show is. They're not like, oh, you want to be a professional wrestler? No. They're like,
No.
oh, so you're good looking?
Well, that's what WWE has become.
It's just annoying.
That's what WWE has become. They have the anomalies. You know what I mean? Like they had Nia. They got Dewdrop. I hate that name so
They
much.
should have just left her as Piper and not made it. This is the problem with WWE is that honestly, plus size people are they're made to be a joke. They're
Yep.
made to be a fucking joke. They can never be like a serious contender. Because Nia Jax was that way. Because even when her character first came out, like, why are you like, oh my god, I'm Nia Jax. Like, I'm a girl too. Like, that's literally how they presented her.
And that's not even how she talks
Exactly,
in real
it's
life.
literally not how she fucking talks. So it's just
No.
annoying. She's like, oh my god, it just
Yeah.
fucking annoyed the shit out of me. Like,
I'm
why
gonna
not just
talk
make
in
her
a
a tough
higher
girl?
register and plug my nose.
Dude,
you
and the same
know?
thing with Dewdrop.
my
She could just
God.
be an ass kicker, but she's like,
I'm 5 years old.
yeah, literally 5 years old. Like, it's so fucking annoying.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty much done with WWE.
I mean,
wow.
shit. It's easy to be done with them. I mean, it's really hard. There's so many people that are so disgruntled with them right now because they're releasing all these like legit man fucking Tommy Dreamer came on record and was like, with this roster right here that they let go, he could start his own company around the people that they just let go, and thrive.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Dude, you cannot tell me you have nothing for Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
There's your champ.
You have nothing for Karrion Kross and Scarlett.
Karrion-
like
Karrion Kross and Keith Lee could carry a card if they were paired correctly and if they got to wrestle a style of match that would benefit both of them.
Dude.
They need to go in there both as powerhouses and just be like, okay, you can do this, well I can do this. It needs to be who can better up one. Almost like how Goldberg and Brock did at the Mania. How, Goldberg came in there, he's spearing Brock all over the place and shit. It was just power hit, power hit, power hit. You're not gonna expect them to do a 35-minute match or 45-minute match. That's ridiculous. But you gotta book people to what they're like they say, highlight their strengths. If you're not gonna highlight someone's strength,
even like the way that they book shit, right? It's like, so you mean to tell me that we couldn't have had 4 weeks of TV doing qualification matches to find out who's going to be on Team Raw, Team SmackDown?
Exactly.
It's a huge wasted opportunity.
Dude, I even saw that on Twitter. Some person's like, so the Survivor Series has always been a really good way to build storylines. Hello? What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Like, they were
so
all
we're
kinda
just WWE's just like, oh no, here you go. We're just going to give it to you on a silver platter because here we go. We're just going to give it to you because apparently we don't have the attention span to stick around. And it's like, no, that's not true. And AEW's proven that wrong, by the way, because Hangman and Kenny Omega have had a 2-year storyline,
Yeah.
and we're all here for it. We're all about it.
we're waiting for that payoff.
Yeah.
It just proves that their mentality, the way Vince is trying to do things right now. Again, and like I said, I don't think he's even in control anymore. I think he's just there. Like he's just sitting in his almighty fucking Oz throne with his fucking, dick in his hand, stroking himself
Wow.
because of all the fucking bullshit. But it's like you're getting rid of all the talents that are going to make your company money. How do you get rid of Frankie Monet?
Not a visual I needed, but yes, you're right.
How do you get rid of Frankie Monet? She's one of the best female wrestlers on the fucking planet, dude.
Oh, but her appeal, just what she looks like is just.
So you're more worried about Vince. So you're more worried about what she looks like.
Yep.
Hey, I'm talking.
Yeah, you and Cam are the same. You're like, oh yeah, fucking, this hot bitch, this hot bitch, this hot bitch. Okay, but like they're not talented though.
We're talking WWE right now.
Yeah, but Frankie Monet is a good
Frankie Monet
talent.
is one of the most. She's one of the best female wrestlers on the planet, dude.
And she's not even. She's thick. She's almost like Natty. She's just kind of got like a different build than normal girls. You know what I mean?
Right,
Anyway.
but the appeal is not there with the character she's trying to build. I just didn't see it.
With what chances was she given though? They didn't really. They didn't even give her the opportunity, because by the time she got there,
they had her paired up with some random bitch and this other dude. Like, who the fuck? I don't even know.
Yeah, I didn't even know what was going on. Then Mandy Rose is kind of sticking her neck in there. Like, you're like, what's going on?
And that's why it's like NXT now. It's like, it's all about the women, and they're all like groping themselves as they're walking out and shit. It's totally Vince all over. It's got Vince all over it, dude. You know what I mean? And it's
like women can't be relevant unless they're sexualized. That's fucking annoying.
That's what WWE is right now. They're like, annoying. That's what we're going to do.
And that's why the plus size girls also get no fucking opportunity and they're not taken seriously because they're like, yeah, you're just some fat bitch, whatever. Like, I don't really, you're just here for fun. Like, you're not even, literally, that's how they treat them. That's literally how they treat them.
But if you think about years past when you got like Bull Nakano and Bertha Faye and even like Awesome Kong, there is a lane for all these chicks.
Yes.
But they're like, but Vince is like, ew, no, she's not visually appealing to me. I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna make her a joke. We're gonna basically pick on her because she's fat.
Yeah.
And even Keith Lee, bro, they brought Keith Lee in and they covered him up. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, that whole thing with Keith Lee, like I said, the Royal Rumble Keith Lee that we had showed that should have. I mean, what more?
Even in the Survivor Series that year, he dominated, dude. Like him and Roman had a great showing, dude.
Dude, and Kevin Owens gets overlooked how much because he's not just like
Samoa Joe,
right? Because he's not just a fucking Drew McIntyre or some pretty boy. You know what I mean? Like, it's really fucking irritating.
And that's why, going back to what you said, Mr. B, everybody's falling out of love with WWE right now because it's a very chauvinistic, misogynistic fucking mentality right now.
Exactly.
Mandy Rose comes out and she's grabbing her tits and fucking rubbing on her ass and she's like, look at me, and everybody and Vince is over there like,
yeah.
I mean, and cool, like they might be like, oh, women power, like I want to do this, but I don't really think so. Like a lot of women, especially nowadays, they want to be taken seriously, and you're not. I don't know. Not going to do it that way.
How do you take people seriously who don't have the business mentality to be able to go in there and wrestle? Oh yeah,
well, that's Vince's thing. Like, Vince said it himself.
Give them enough promos.
It takes 10 years. It takes 10 years to know what you're doing in this business, but yet you've got 5 matches. Let's put you on TV because you're blonde and got big tits and a nice ass.
Like
Great.
Vince would love to bring back the fucking bra and panty matches. That's all I know.
And there's girls that are down for it.
I know, which is fine, dude.
Like
if you want to show off your body because you got it, cool. Like, I already told Mom, if I had the body for it, I'd probably be a stripper because they just make a lot of fucking money. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, okay, if you got it and you want to flaunt it, fine, but that's not what I want to fucking see out of pro wrestling, personally.
Hey, Kimmy, I'm right there with you because if I had it too, I would definitely be on that pole.
Dude, just saying.
I just don't like the direction WWE is going in. I haven't liked it for quite some time. Like you said, it's pretty much the real world where it's nothing real about it. It's just, you've got a 12-pack abs. Okay, we're going to put you on TV, even though you have no business being on here. And that's the problem with WWE, and they're going to fucking suck. And going to even what Britt said with her slamming the developmental right now.
Yeah, so what did she say exactly?
So she basically said, you can't just pull a bunch of fucking models and good-looking people into a warehouse and teach them how to do the same thing, the same way, the same time, the same area, the same everything, and expect your product to fucking thrive. Everybody learns differently, and people need to learn on their own how to go work crowds and go fucking, learn how to fucking wrestle. People are going to get hurt, and that's what's been happening in WWE. You bring in these people that have no business being in the ring, and then you put them in with someone like Charlotte, and now Charlotte's going to have to work down to their level and dummy it down so much because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, and she doesn't want to injure herself.
Right,
because she can't trust them.
True story.
And same thing with
True
Nia
story.
when they were
It's
taking
all
the live
about
rounds.
trust, baby.
Same thing. You know, she Nia dumped her on her fucking head twice in that match.
Yeah.
And she got up and slapped her in the face like, bitch, wake up. She's missing spots. She's dumping her on her head and her shoulder.
Yep.
She slaps her and she's like, wake the fuck up, bitch. And Nia took that shit really personal and don't slap me in my face, bitch, blah, blah, blah. And then they started, taking live rounds at each other. And it's like, okay, well, that number one, that's unprofessional by Nia because Nia's the one that fucked those spots up and then got butthurt when she got called out on it. You know, you cannot be in the ring, and especially in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, especially against someone like literally like a Hulk Hogan-esque character like Charlotte. You're gonna hurt her. That's hurting Charlotte.
You have to have a respect for the business in order to be a professional wrestler. Period. So you can't just be some fucking fan that knows nothing about anything and you've never watched wrestling in your life, but you're like, oh, it's going to pay me good money and I get to be on TV and get famous, basically. That's all they fucking care about.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not going to be out there in the ring paying attention and making it work because they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's just really annoying. Like, and you have to care about the other people around you too in order to like have a successful match and be safe, but also make it believable. You know,
and
what
there's
I mean?
a lot of people that have made great careers out of that. Like Kevin Nash is a prime example. He was never a wrestling fan growing up, ever. He didn't really know what it was, but he's a big jacked up dude. But it was a different time back then where you were allowed to kind of be you, go get over and do all this, where now it's just like, nah, man, you're being told what to do. But, how many weeks are we supposed to watch the same 4 chicks fight each other?
Yeah.
How many times are we supposed to watch Sasha and Charlotte, or Becky and Bayley, or Becky and Sasha, or fucking, it's just like...
Dude, that's why I was stoked when...
you can't do that.
I'm blanking on her name. She comes out in the tank. What's her name? I'm blanking on her name.
Comes out in the tank?
Green hair.
Shotzi.
Oh, Shotzi.
I was down as hell when she came out and she's like, oh, you want someone new? Here the fuck I am, basically. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Give someone else a chance.
Well, and how long is she going to be around?
For a second, probably.
How much longer is it going to be before she just got a bad attitude, and I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax. I mean, on record, none of us are. But they fucking did her dirty, man.
Mm-hmm.
She took some time off for a mental health break, and she got her travel for mid-November, and she's like, hey, can I get an extension on this break? I feel like I just need to work a little bit more things out. And then she's like, she never heard nothing back from him. Next thing she knew, she was fucking released. And then they were trying to say her unvaccination status and all this and that. And she's like, that was never not once brought up ever in my tenure here.
Of course not. It's budget cuts, man. It's budget cuts.
Quote unquote budget cuts. It's all bullshit.
But let's $5.7 billion company needs to make budget.
Right. They're like budget cuts, but we're gonna brag about our $256 million profit from the last quarter or whatever. But budget cuts, right? Yeah. It's like it's all a lie, dude. It's all bullshit. It's all in our face, and that's what's turning us off to WWE.
They're trimming the fat of the people that are not like-minded to what WWE wants to move forward to.
Well, and that's the thing. They don't want to tell anybody what it is, but yet, if you're not on board, you need to get the fuck out.
Well,
it's like, well, what am I being on board for?
They're so confused, dude. And I said that even previously, that like they don't know what the fuck they want. Like sometimes they're pro wrestling, sometimes they're sports entertainment, sometimes they're, you know what I mean? Like they're literally just trying everything, and everything's so mishmash. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
WWE is really, really fallen by the wayside, and I think at this point, even if AEW was to start a show on Monday night, I don't think it's going to change WWE's mindset in any way, shape, or form. No. Why would it? Why would it? Vince is like, we're making the most money we've ever made in our entire fucking careers.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about the bottom line dollar.
Though, bro. But it's not. It's not. Like in Vince's eyes it is, because that's all Vince cares about. But it's like, no, dude, the money will come. Like if you have a good product, the money will come. If you build it, they will come, right? It's a tried and true fucking formula. And he's like, well, we don't give a fuck. We're actually going to strip it all down, and we're going to bring in these bitches and these people that have no business being on TV. And it's a soap opera now, and it's not good. It's not good. They just took Mansoor out of a tag team to throw him right back in another tag team with fucking Cesaro. It makes no fucking sense at all. So dumb.
Well, and they can't do anything with Cesaro but put him in a fucking tag team with random people. Like, they just literally are like, I guess you're in a tag team. Like, that's all they do with him, which is unfortunate. But I know that Eddie Kingston did like say, "Oh, I'm taking a shot." And by the way, AEW is the only professional wrestling company out there because
I agree with him. I agree. And you know, going back to that statement too, when they were doing this whole thing with Punk and Eddie Kingston, I'm like, ugh, here we go again, dude. Another meaningless program with Punk. But
they did a good job.
But yeah, I was gonna say the promos will make up for the match. Yeah. And you know, the promos are what gets you in the door. The match is always the blow off, you know what I mean? Like Vince Russo back in the day would always say, nobody cares about the match. Nobody gives a shit about the match. It's all about how we get to the match. Yeah. Well, I don't agree with that. I agree to a certain point where, yes, you need the story to build to get you there, and the match is like the icing on the cake. Like the match is the blow off.
That's what everyone wants to see, the confrontation.
Yeah, we want to see that. You know, we want to see the confrontation. We want to see the match. We want to see the physicality, but the story is what gets us there. You know what I mean?
That's what makes you emotionally invested.
But the match still has to happen. When the bell rings, it still needs to be a quality thing. And that's where I think Vince McMahon's mind has been warped by this Vince Russo mentality where nobody cares about the match. And that's why he just throws matches out for match sake. Just, now it's Finn Balor and fucking whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah, that was
Shorty
super fucking random.
You know?
Yeah, Shorty G, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, that was actually a good match.
Oh, it was a great match. I'm not gonna take anything away, but it's like it's just a randomly thrown together match that has no meaning to it. Whereas on AEW, every match that you see on TV has something to do with the story that they're currently telling. There's no just bullshit match for no reason. You know, everything means something, and that's where WWE is really falling down the hill, man.
Yeah,
they're tumbling right now, dude. Snowball effect. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
Dude, in AEW's promo again with CM Punk and fucking Eddie Kingston was very believable because he's like, yeah, why don't you go ahead and quit for another 7 years? Blah, blah, blah. And they're just talking shit about each other. And he's like, oh, yeah, no one wants you in the fucking locker room. And blah, blah, blah. Like, they're
talking shit about holding people back in the day, you know, when they were ego was so high, you know what I mean?
Totally. So they were bringing up a lot of real shit, even though maybe quote unquote scripted. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes more sense, dude, in this day and age.
But it's called business. It's called business.
Yeah.
You got to be. It's just no different than we talked about last week when Rock and Hunter, they were not the best of friends. Same thing with Rock and Steve back in the day. They weren't the best of friends, but they knew how to do business. They could put their personal bullshit aside for the sake of business, and it was money. It was fucking gold.
It's almost like Smack Talker rules. Like, hey, I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna say shit that may or may not hurt your feelings, but don't get your fucking feelings hurt.
Yeah. Rule one of Smack Talkers, you can't take shit personal.
Yeah, so it's kind of like pro wrestling is the same way. Like, hey, rule number one of fucking professional wrestling is I'm gonna say some shit and I'm gonna put this in my promo, but you can't get your feelings hurt because, dude, it's no different than back in the day with Mysterio and fucking, oh god, his name is escaping me. Why?
Eddie?
Yes, thank you. God damn it. When, he's talking shit about his kid.
I've been on point today.
Thank you. My brain's like, Meh. Anyway, but, just bringing in real life scenarios to make the story more believable and bring in that kayfabe aspect, even though you kind of, quote unquote, know it's bullshit. No different than MJF talking all of his shit. You know what I mean? Like, just saying, talking shit to dude's Brody Lee's kid and like just really crossing the line at all times. You know what I mean?
Very easy to
that was a little much.
It's very easy to suspend your disbelief with MJF. You know what I mean?
Very.
And we all know that, is he really that guy? I don't know.
Maybe.
A lot of people say he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he really is that guy.
And that's great.
Yep.
That's great. You need people like that in wrestling, especially in wrestling, dude.
Well,
look at it that aren't afraid of the heat.
Look at it for this instance. Jeff Jarrett was the master of it. How many people hated Jeff Jarrett?
Oh, I hated
Everybody?
Jeff Jarrett. I did.
Everybody.
You listen to him now.
I'm like, I love Jeff Jarrett.
I love Jeff Jarrett.
Well, Jeff Jarrett now, because now once you understand who he was, and it's the business, man. It's the business. You don't take shit personal. That rule one of wrestling. You can't take shit personal, otherwise it'll fucking ruin you, man.
Right. You can stare at all you want. It ain't gonna get any bigger,
Yes.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we've gotten way off track, but to me,
I mean, not really.
It's just the fact. It's the simple fact that Vince McMahon. I really do think Vince has no idea what he's doing anymore. He's got his hands in a couple different things, and that's why the show feels so unorganized and just so thrown together. Because Vince hires these people to write his show. and then once he gets the scripts and gets everything, he's like, nah, fuck this, I don't like this. And then he'll rewrite the show 10 minutes before the goddamn show. And it's like, or sometimes they'll just do it as they go. And it's just like, okay, so is this sketch or is this not? You know, like, what is this? It's
That's what I mean, dude. They just
It's
they
too
have multiple
unorganized.
personalities. They literally have multiple personalities. They're bipolar as fuck, schizophrenic. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know if they're coming or going. It's ridiculous.
Well, speaking of someone who definitely doesn't know if they're coming or going, finally found some help with what they were dealing with. Let's give it up for John Moxley, who I had to take off. It's really important, mental health or any type of addiction or any type of way that you feel like you can't control what's going on in your life and you feel it's too much, definitely seek help. I'm glad he did. As someone who knows what addiction is, it is definitely hard sometimes. And, you know, finding a way past it and getting the help you need. Hey, I will always say, I credit the 3 people in that room right there for saving my damn life. And I'll just leave it at that.
Plus too, man, you know, he's got I don't want to say newborn, but I mean, he's got a
got
2-year-old
kids.
daughter now, or a year and a half, or whatever she is.
Yeah.
So much
If
to live
that,
for,
if
man.
that even. But yeah, you know, he's like, even he mentioned it in his promos.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I don't give a shit about this belt. I don't give a shit about this world title. He's like, you know what I care about? I care about my little girl.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I care about is my little girl, and that's who I'm fighting for. And you know what I mean? And now he checked himself into an inpatient, you know, rehab facility, which good for him. And hopefully he comes out better than ever, you know?
I'm glad it's more positive now, because, dude, back in the day, you'd check into rehab and everyone's like, oh, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm glad
you're
that people...
dead to me.
Yeah, I'm glad people look at it differently, like, good, you're getting fucking self-help, man. Like, I'm glad you're actually making the steps and, you know...
Well, and there's a lot of haters, too, man, where it's like
Yeah.
you try to better yourself and people are like, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Right, it's growth.
You know,
It's fucking growth, bro.
every time there's success, people are always going to turn their nose to it. You know what I mean? It's
And
like,
when you fail, people like to make fun of that shit, too.
yeah, even though they ain't doing nothing with their life, you know, it's just like, damn, man, just goddamn be happy for somebody that they're trying to better themselves, man. Why is everybody such an asshole about it? You know,
Yeah.
it makes no difference, but. I'm glad that he's getting the treatment, you know. Hopefully it's sooner than later, and not to mention, you know, I know it's just a TV show, you know, as we say, but, you know, he was in a primo spot, and he took himself out to better himself, so kudos to that, too. Kudos to
Definitely.
not worrying about everybody else and worrying about himself.
Yeah, since anybody out there struggling with anything, man, always seek help.
Yeah, man.
Always know there's somebody there who cares about you more while you're here than if you're gone.
Even if you don't feel that way, they do.
They do.
That is true. I just wish that, yeah, like you said, I wish the mentality was different, where everybody was more on board with, you know, seeing the success and not trying to just bury motherfuckers because they hate their life.
And everybody's different, man. Everyone has their own vices and can say no to some things and not to others. Like, some people can let it get away with them, and some people just, you know what I mean? So it just depends. Mm-hmm. Everyone's different, man.
Yeah, we're all wired a little bit differently. We're the same, but not, you know?
Yeah. So
It's
different.
weird.
Yeah,
So weird.
It is weird, right?
Extremely. Which also is extremely weird is the finals for the tournament. AEW's #1 contendership at Full Gear will now feature Daniel Bryanson versus Miro.
Bryan
Right.
Danielson.
Daniel Bryan, yeah, that guy versus Miro.
Hey, do you
And
think Miro was a good fit for that spot, or do you think they should have
believe-
picked somebody else?
I believe so. I think Miro is being held back by this god. Miro is okay. I have always said Rusev Miro, that package could be one of the most dominating villains that you will ever have in your life.
And then John Cena happened.
Well, even after the John Cena, Rusev can survive the John Cena because Rusev is a badass. Rusev is a legit badass. The motherfucker broke his damn shin or his heel, taking a move over the top rope. Remember Roman at the Royal Rumble? They chanted Rusev. Rusev Day was huge. Rusev has the ability to be a legit #1 in this business if done correctly.
Yeah, he looks
Bring back
intimidating as fuck. That's for sure.
Yeah. All John had to do is
him.
put him over at WrestleMania 31. That's all.
That's
all John
that
had
would
to
have been
do.
icing on the cake. Motherfucker
Same
rode
thing
in
with
on
Bray.
a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bray too.
Yeah. But
Cena.
Cena must pose though, right?
No, I mean,
Fuck John Cena, bro.
I think the match will be a good match though between the two of them.
hey, Mike. You can't see me.
Yeah, nobody can see after John Cena, bro. John Cena's ruined so many careers. He has ruined so many fucking careers. It's in the proof's in the pudding, though, dude. The proof is in the pudding. You get somebody super hot, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna put you against Cena, but you're gonna lose." It's like, why though? Like Cena's Teflon. Cena's never gonna get hurt. So why couldn't you make some stars? But again, I think it just goes back to that's not what Vince wanted, bro.
Dude, he's just a money-making machine, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're like, Cena's going to be Cena, and, it's the same thing with Hogan. Hogan and Cena parallel each other's careers so much where, WWE life after Hogan is very similar to WWE life after Cena, where it's like you've built Hogan so big and Hogan killed everybody. So then when Hogan left, like, what do you got? You got a bunch of mid-card guys that really aren't established, and they needed to fucking basically let the smoke settle or the dust settle to see what they had, and they're kind of WWE's in that phase right now. Like, thank God for Roman, because without Roman, WWE sucks right now.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Let's put Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, Mount Rushmore, #1, Hall of Fame, all that shit. Can you please tell me how many people he put over in his prime?
Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, fucking Mankind. I can keep.
He put over Mick.
Yes. Yeah. He did put over Mick.
When?
I don't know if it was for the belt, but he put him over. And it doesn't need to be for the belt. It don't need to be for the belt, bro.
Okay, but in a big spot, I'm gonna take Mick out of that, in my opinion.
Why?
And I'm gonna.
Why does it always have to be a big spot?
Because it's the whole thing. I mean, if you look at it in the sense of putting someone over means that there's a time and place where that person has to go. Like, I'll put it as an example of with Keith Lee and Randy Orton.
It's called doing business, bro.
Right, exactly. When is it the right time to do business, and when is it the wrong time? We can list every time Cena did the wrong time to do he didn't do business at the right time. We just mentioned too, Bray and Rusev. Those were big moments. It didn't have to be for a title. It was just big moments where it had to be. I don't feel Mick and Steve had a place where it was a big moment because Mick lost to Steve as Mankind. Mick lost to Steve as Dude Love. Mick lost to Steve as Cactus Jack. So I never saw him going over in that aspect. Now, win or lose is a difference between where your career goes from that loss and where it doesn't. Shit, Taker.
Wait a minute. Didn't he put over Mick for the title at SummerSlam when Jesse Ventura was the special guest referee?
No.
In the triple threat match?
No.
I'm almost 100% he did.
Who else was in that match?
It was Triple H, Hunter. It was Hunter, and it was Mick. And I think Mick went over that night, and then Hunter went over that next Monday night over Mick. And that was when Steve left to go do surgery or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Steve was hurt, yeah.
So he did put over Mick for the title.
Well, I mean, he was in the match. Okay. So
he was in the match.
You know what? We've beaten that horse to fucking death, my opinion.
But what I was also going to say, was Kurt was one of them that I would definitely say Steve put over.
He put over Jericho.
And he put over Jericho. Yes, I was also going to mention Jericho in there.
So how you want to compare him to?
So what I was going to say, if you can think of some of the people that John put over when he put over.
Yeah, I can think of like 2, 3, maybe.
So of course it's going to be Edge, Randy, or your two most obvious.
Yeah,
because
Sheamus by accident.
Sheamus kept going though. He's put over Roman, and it was before Roman. It was before he left. He definitely put over Roman.
Yeah, but that was like before he left, before he was gone for like years.
I mean, think about that.
Same
thing with Steve. Before Steve was gone for years, he made sure that he put the right people over.
But in his prime though, in Steve's prime run, dude, he was putting Taker over. He put over Hunter. He put over Mick. He put over fucking Rock multiple times. So it's like, there's no comparison.
But they were all making money for the business. It was doing business at that time because they were all making money, and it was worth the put over.
Right. It's called business, though.
But was Rusev John making money like that? No. Edge and John was. Randy and John was. That mix was. But Rusev and John weren't.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because they didn't put Rusev over, bro. Same thing with Bray. You could say the same thing about Bray.
No,
like Bray was
Bray's
at the
different. No,
Bray was at the
different.
highest that he could be
Bray
at
was making
WrestleMania
money.
30, and
Bray
then
was
they put
making
him with
money, yes.
Cena. Cena's already pretty much on his way out by WrestleMania 30, right?
That was a bad move. Yes, I will agree with you 100% on that.
Dude, there's been so many.
No excuse.
There's been so many, but Hogan was the same way. Where Hogan's like, that don't work for me, brother. You know, where these just like, I'm not putting him over because what does that do for me? It's like, well, it's going to make you money in the long run because we're building stars. You got to build stars because after Cena left, dude, WWE was in shambles. They were like, who the fuck do we got? We haven't made anybody. Oh, fuck, we're fucked. We weren't ready for this. You know, same thing with when Hogan left. They're like, fuck, we haven't made any stars. You know.
And then Brett and Shawn came out of that deal, which was great. It was great for all of us.
Well, they had they kind of had to see what they had, so they just let people go be them, and then those were the two that rose the most, you know.
I mean, but you got to remember what changed in the WWE was their financial picture and what they are as far as a overall business. They're more of a corporation than a wrestling company, bro.
Yeah, and that was the worst thing that they ever could have done. That's going to sink their ship. That was the fucking shot that I don't think they're going to be able to recover from. Like, yeah, they're corporate, but dude, they say that they're making money, which they are making money because they are such a corporate entity right now. But dude, I'm telling you, in 5 years, WWE's not going to be number one, dude. WWE is already pretty much getting close to be that number 2 slot because I'm more excited for AEW every week than I am for any WWE, dude.
When you say that, here's what I'm hearing. You say they're going to be number 1 as far as what goes. What number 1 in
They're
what?
not number who AEW?
Yeah, what are they?
They're going to be the
in?
number 1 wrestling program in the world.
In what
if they're
aspect?
not already, in every aspect, in every fucking aspect, bro.
Because
Never
WWE is sports entertainment.
They're
never financially. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
why
There's no way
do you say
financially AEW
never,
will
bro?
reach.
WWE may not even be around in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. WWE's going to sell. They're going to break them apart into little bitty pieces, and then it's going to become a shell of what it used to be, and no one's going to want to fucking be there or watch that shit.
Dude, all the major talents are wanting out. They're like, this is the Titanic. We got to get the fuck off of here. We got to get out of here.
Plus, AEW is actually working with other wrestling promotions.
Yep. They're willing to do business. They're not like, oh no, we're our own little fucking entity and you can't come in.
Yeah, dude, WWE's about to be Lucha Underground, bro. It's about to be a small niche thing where it's going to be...
They've gotten bigger than themselves, dude. They've gotten too big for their own fucking britches, my opinion. And yeah, eventually it's going to fucking blow up in their faces. Yeah, that's just my opinion. It's not going to last forever. I know, AJ, you're a WWE guy. You know what I mean?
am too. I'm a loyalist, man.
So I get where you're coming from that aspect because you're like, well, no, yeah, AEW is still small fish. Yeah, but if AEW is going to allow professional wrestlers to be professional wrestlers, that's where everyone's going to flock to. It's no different than that meme that was like, oh, AEW locker room after all these, people are let go. It's like a full fucking stadium. You know what I mean? So it's like, but they want to be able to give them an avenue. And it's like, oh yeah, well, we're not just AEW. We're this and we're that. And we're, we work with these people. Go to Japan. Go do this. Like,
but in that situation, like you said, with that big picture, right, with all the big giant crowd or whatever for AEW roster, what they're doing is they're letting the folks, they're trying to see who's getting over.
Yep.
And whoever gets over is going to be in that spot.
Yep.
It's not like WWE where they're like, nope, we want Roman.
Yep.
And we're going to push Roman even though nobody wants it. And same thing with Cena. Cena got booed out of the building for the last 10 fucking years. But yet, nope, Vince is like, nope, this is my guy and this is who I want. And it's like, well, we don't want him. And, well, Vince is like, well, fuck you. Who are you?
Yep.
You're just a fan. Shut up and watch my shit.
Yep.
And people resent that shit. People resent that shit, man.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Mike? Did you shut up and watch your shit?
Yeah, because I had no choice. There was nothing else. But now there is an alternative. There is something else that we can watch. And, dude, the writing's on the fucking wall, man. I mean, everybody wants out of WWE, dude.
But do you think you would stop watching WWE?
Bro, I'm really close.
As a whole, you think you could stop watching WWE?
I could.
I
personally.
could. I for sure could. You get rid of like 3
And I
more
have.
fucking major talents, bro. I'm checked the fuck out.
I have checked out of WWE, and it took me a lot to come back to it, to be fair. Honestly, it was NXT that got me back into wrestling, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because, yeah, like, I literally wasn't watching it for, like, easily a decade. Easily. And then, you know, after Mike and I, like, kind of, like, roomed together and all that stuff, and then I, like, Ifso Faxo was, like, watching it, and then I'm like, oh, shit, this NXT shit's actually really good. But I fell off the WWE wagon for a long fucking time because it just was weird and was like, I don't know, man. It just got cringy as fuck.
Super cringy. Dude. It's still cringy to this day. Like, there's still a lot of shit where it's just like, dude, NXT is super cringy right now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It is so, like, I can't watch it. I'm like, I cannot watch this fucking bullshit. Like, it's such a fall from grace from what it was, you know, when we got guys like, you know, even like Gargano and Ciampa and them, like, yeah, they're really small, but man, they fit perfectly in that realm right now because they are the top guys in that company.
Dude,
you know
the
what
reason
I mean?
we
They're the
have-
best workers in the world.
The reason we have the female talent that we have right now is because of fucking NXT.
Hello?
Like, period.
Yeah.
Like, the women weren't allowed to do in WWE main roster that they were doing in NXT. Like, they weren't having those kinds of matches at fucking all. It was,
Hashtag give divas a chance.
dude, it was Brie Bella and fucking, you know what I
Boo.
mean? Like,
Nikki Bella. That's the best you can put on our TV is Nikki fucking Bella,
Yeah,
bro. Get out of
okay.
here.
Yeah,
You
shake your
can
ass
look
here.
if you want to.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Nikki Bella, not a good talent, bro.
Dude.
She, for what she did, I respect for what she did and what she tried to do for the division.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, man.
still a pretty girl.
It's
you know,
seen as girl, bro.
Twins in a fucking bathing suit. That's how they got hired on. They're like, oh, you're twins and you came in little tiny bikinis? Yeah.
Oh, you
you're
guys were
hired.
Hooters girls. Yeah, we want you. We
Yeah.
want you.
I'm sorry, but Brie was scary. Brie and Nia were like,
yeah.
if they teamed up. Woo!
That's
Bro,
what I'm saying.
but
They'd be
but
dead.
let's put her in a primo fucking program. It's
Right.
like, come on, she's got no
She
business
had
being
one
there.
Possibly hurt somebody.
Dude, and that's why it was switched to the women's title because people like Charlotte and fucking Becky and Bailey,
The 4 horsewomen,
dude, they're the ones going, no, we're gonna do fucking high flying, fucking actual real life wrestling, dude. We're not here to just look pretty. Like, I'm here to fucking wrestle. You know what I mean?
How many talents have you heard just within the last 10 years that were like, I would love to go back to NXT? KO being a prime example of that. KO was like, please put me back in NXT. I'm so done with this WWE roster bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Please put me back on NXT where I can be a pro wrestler.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be a sports entertainer, dude. They all want to be pro wrestlers because that's what they've all grown up to. Dude, nobody's growing up to be like, I want to be a sports entertainer. I
Nobody.
want to be the greatest sports entertainer of all time. Nobody says that shit. Everybody's like, no, I want to be the greatest pro wrestler to ever live.
Yeah, and if you're a model and WWE throws, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars at your face, you're gonna be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna take this gig. Mm-hmm. Like, who else is gonna pay me this much just to look
all
pretty?
I gotta do is fall on the floor.
Right.
Yeah,
Take
pretty
a few
much.
bumps. Okay.
Oh, they got the Undertaker out in Dallas right now signing autographs. I'm watching it live as it happens. He's signing for all the troops for Veterans Day. It's pretty cool.
Hey,
He's
That's
at the stadium right now as they play the Broncos.
is he rolling his eyes in the back of his head too?
No, no. It's Callaway out there.
I was gonna say the Undertaker's dead, bro. The Undertaker's dead. It is now time for Mark Calloway to reinvent himself. Hopefully, he just doesn't get back in the ring. I just,
He just needs to quit wearing
Oh no,
eyeliner.
he won't. He won't get back in the ring. And you know what? The Undertaker's not dead. That character will live forever.
Oh yeah. You can't not have the Undertaker.
Would you
I
say
mean,
he would
it's
be a
the most
staple? He's
iconic.
one of the staples of professional wrestling
he's the
Definitely.
greatest character ever.
ever
Like,
of all time.
Yeah,
I
of all
would think
time.
he would be on any Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, if there was a Mount Rushmore of characters, he leads it. He leads the charge.
Well, who else?
Characters?
First character, yeah. Would
Oh.
you put Kane in there?
Yeah, Kane would be in there. I think the Fiend, like the Bray Wyatt's thing.
All time?
Yes, dude. I mean, because he's the first one that comes to my mind.
I
And
think
when you're
Mankind.
talking character, yeah, Mankind would probably be another one. Outside of that, like, who else?
Well, who played their character all the way? Never changed. I think Hogan would definitely be
No.
considered a character.
I'm
Stone
talking
Cold.
like Undertaker, like a character, like.
Oh, you mean like mythological? Okay.
Not
like,
even
I don't-
mythological, just
well,
character,
just
like Doink
character,
or like fucking, like a character, not a
like the
realistic.
Boogeyman.
Yeah,
or
the
something like
Boogeyman,
that.
that kind of shit. Yeah. Because
So all three of Mick's characters would have to be one. It'd have to be like three faces.
The
like
three faces of Foley is definitely up there.
Yeah, I would definitely say that character would be there.
Because like I don't consider Vince McMahon a character because I think that's just who he was and who he is. He's a fucking heel. Vince McMahon was just himself turned up. That's why it worked so good because he was just him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think it would probably be you're right. Taker, Kane, Bray's characters and Mick's characters as a whole, as a.
Yeah, because outside of that, I mean,
I can't think of any other like.
I'm sure if I sat down and really, really thought about it and like wrote it down.
I mean, was Andre a character? No.
Luna Vachon.
Oh, she was crazy.
She was psycho.
I just watched her fucking Dark Side of the Ring too.
So
wow.
good.
I haven't caught that yet. I'm way behind on everything, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen any AEW this week. I haven't even watched SmackDown. I think I watched I don't even remember SmackDown.
You're fired.
I don't think I watched SmackDown though.
Yeah.
Well, AEW I thought was good. Rampage was actually live this week. It wasn't a tape show, so that was good.
And it was actually better than last week. I will give it credit for that.
They did drop in the ratings a little bit, but it's a B show, man. It's not a fucking A show. You know, it's been previously recorded forever, dude. And I'm sorry, you cannot say it's an A show if you're previously recording it. It's not. It's a B show, bro. You're recording it after your A show. Stop it.
Hypothetical question: how long do you think it is until WWE sells?
Fucking soon, within 2 years.
2 years.
Within 2 years, they're gonna be sold to fucking whoever, and then 3 years after that, it'll probably be dead.
They're open for business, guys. That's what they said.
So you think the big names will be gone before then, though? Like,
Well,
Keto,
who do you think would even
Charlotte?
buy the WWE?
Everybody, anybody, and everybody.
Mr. B, your question. What was that?
How long before the rest of the big talent are gone before they sell?
I would say probably pretty quick. I mean, the big ones will stick around because their paychecks are going to be way too high to fucking ever go anywhere else. But you know, like Roman will stick around. You know, I think Seth will stick around.
Yeah, I could see those two for sure.
Those are going to be the two I think that stick around for a while. Who else?
I think the New Day. If Kofi don't retire, New Day.
Yeah, I could see New Day sticking around.
Kofi's a diehard through and through, just like Randy Orton.
I could see Randy leaving, dude. I could see Randy getting the fuck out of there.
I was going to say, I don't see that.
I don't know.
He's already had talks with Tony Khan.
Really?
Yeah,
Before he re-signed this newest contract, he was talking to Tony Khan about going over there because he's like, what else is there for me to do here? Like, I've done it all. I've done it all.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see that. But I just feel like he's just a generational wrestler, for one thing, you know. Second generation.
He's third
I
generation.
mean, third. I'm sorry, third. That's what I'm going to say. Third, not second. But, I mean, and it's all mostly WWE is his entire life.
Oh, yeah. He's been a WWE guy since day one.
Yeah.
You know?
OVW born and bred, baby.
Well,
Just
OVW was
Batista
always OVW was a WWE developmental, though.
Right. That's
You know
what I
what I
mean.
mean?
That's what I mean. Like,
I don't know. It's just weird for me personally because it's like I see all these people getting released from WWE, and the ones that I actually care about, I'm like, oh yeah, I hope you do show up in AEW for your own happiness, because I'm happy to see them doing what it is that they love, and which makes me enjoy watching it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Personally.
I think a lot of these people that are leaving too are so disgruntled with WWE, they want to burn that bitch to the ground.
Yeah.
Like what did Bray say in that tweet that I just sent y'all the other day?
Let's open it up.
speaking of which, yeah, let's progress.
Let's get into that.
So he said, he goes, what do we do now? We wait for the right place. We wait for the right time. Then we turn Rome to ashes, groveling in the muck of avarice. I believe in you too. Bro, so all these people that are leaving WWE are like, fuck this place, bro. We're out of here. Fuck your company. We're going to burn your shit to the ground. And when you got passion like that coming out of wrestling, like wrestlers, especially when the whole locker room feels that way, dude, there is going to be a major groundswell and a major uprising. And I really think that they're taking it personal to make sure that AEW rises above. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're making it personal. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, this is magic.
Yeah.
This is magic. All I got to do is just pay them to be themselves, and they're going to go do the rest.
Yep.
I just got to make sure that the stories make sense, and so far they have.
And they're letting them take shots when they want to take shots. They're fucking saying what they want to say.
They're not scripting them, dude. They're fucking, they're bulletin points. You know, it's a real pro wrestling company, dude. Yep. It's a real fucking it's something that we haven't had in 25 years.
And they're working with other real promotions.
Yeah.
And do I want to see WWE fail? No, not necessarily, because I'm like you guys. I love that I've obviously been watching it since a kid. Like, some of those characters are ingrained into my childhood. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a part of who I am growing up. You know, it is. It's just a part of our lives, unfortunately or fortunately. You know what I mean? Depending on how you look at it.
Well, and John Moxley thinks that whenever Vince dies, that company's done. Because he's like, he's Walt Disney. Like, he is the magic. And once he's gone, that magic is gone with him.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, you can have Hunter and you can have Shane and all those guys run it, but it's not going to have that Disney magic that Vince brings to it.
Yeah.
Which, who knows, maybe that's what we need to get away from. I don't know. You know, pro wrestling should not be a kid's product, in my opinion. You know, if kids want to watch it, great, but it should not be a child's program.
It never really was, though, because if you think about it, growing up in the 80s, dude, kayfabe was such a thing. So you think that Jerry the King Lawler is really having a fight on TV on a talk show, or you really think that, you know what I mean? Like,
bloody and bleeding and fucking, you know.
Like, you think it's all real, you know what I mean? And then when you find out it's not, it's like, okay, but then, like you said, and we've said it in the past, then you learn to appreciate it for what it is. So it's just annoying when we're made to kind of just, like, I don't know, sit here and watch all of their bullshit, basically.
Well, and again, it goes back to WWE's like, well, we want to target the fucking 5, 6, 7-year-olds, but yet we want to, you know, show me them titties and that ass on NXT.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like,
Again,
it's bullshit. It's not, you're saying all the right things for your corporate fucking market, but yet you're not doing any of those things what you're saying. You know, WWE, like, I'm starting to resent it, man. It's almost like a bad relationship. It's a fucking toxic relationship, dude, where you're sticking around because you've been invested for so long and you want to make it work, and you remember what it was like back in the day when you first fell in love with this person or whatever, but it's become, that person is not who they once were anymore. You've grown apart, you know, and they don't want to change, and they're not going to change. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, well, fuck, what do we do? I guess I got to move on. I can't continue to keep doing this shit, you know? It's any toxic relationship. And
I think like you hit a nail on the head, bro. It's the wrestlers versus WWE at this point.
Yeah.
Seriously, they're just like, no, we want pro wrestling. You're forcing me into a fucking, you know, square peg round hole, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I can't do this, and so now fuck you, because you well, even like Nia Jax, you're gonna feel scorned, dude. You're gonna feel like I don't know, like the company
Why would you
that you've
ever
been
want
working,
to go back?
Yeah, like the company you've been working so hard on has just literally turned their back on you and is like, fuck off, basically. You know what I mean? But literally, that's how they're treating some of these talents. And like, why even?
That's how it happened to Keith Lee too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude.
Sorry.
No. Keith Lee should have a fire lit under his ass so hot right now.
Yeah.
Bearcat? What the fuck?
Yeah, and apparently now, dude, there's a lot of shit coming out now about the creative. Now that these people are all released, they're like, let me tell you about how the creative worked. You know what I mean? Because everybody was making it, coming from WWE, was making it seem like this was Keith Lee's idea to fucking honor Bearcat and the Brown Bomber and all them. You know what I mean? And he's like, no. None of this was my idea. They dressed me up in this fucking weird outfit. They wanted to give me the Bearcat name, and then they didn't even give him a direction on how they wanted his character to be presented. They're just like, okay, you're now Bearcat Keith Lee, go. And he's like, well, what the fuck is a Bearcat? And they're like, I don't know, figure it out. But now you're fired because you couldn't figure it out. But you gave me literally zero direction on how to do this character. Like, how is that fair to any talent?
That's what I mean when they have a fucking multiple personalities, because they're like, oh no, we want you to be scripted and do this, but we're not going to give you any fucking direction, go, and now you suck, you're fired.
Yeah, now you're fired. We don't understand you, you're fired.
It's like, well,
like, what?
Well, because I'm trying to be myself but also someone else, but you don't tell me exactly what it is supposed to do. No different than Drew McIntyre. He's like, I don't know, I guess, what am I supposed to stab someone at the end of all this? So they gave me a sword.
Yeah, they gave me a sword. I guess the end game is I stab somebody, right? Like, I don't know, nobody's told me anything.
Yeah, like,
they just want me to carry a sword around now. I'm Braveheart, I guess.
It's just fucking bizarre. And like, not everybody needs a fucking gimmick. Oh, Bearcat Keith Lee. Oh, so-and-so fucking this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Because even when they're doing the draft, they're like, oh, the this and this, so-and-so. Like, not everyone needs a fucking nickname and, like, an addition to their name. It's just weird.
Well, even, like, Seth Rollins, they ruined his fucking theme song.
Yeah, dude.
Burn it down. Like, why do you have to put that, like, and he even said that was Vince's idea. Like, he needs an identity. It's like, well, how come Seth Rollins can't just be his identity?
Dude, and the lull in his music, to me, was so much better. I love that, because then all of a sudden it was like, like it just explodes. It's like the perfect little break in sound.
Well, plus it's kind of cool for the entrance, too, because then you can time it, kind of like the Adam Cole with the boom.
Yes.
You know, it's like you time it and you make it work, and it's that becomes your identity. You are your identity.
But now it's burn it down, Seth Rollins.
Burn it down, Seth, even though you're the Messiah or not. I don't know what the fuck you are now. Who knows what you are anymore? It makes no sense.
Luckily for him, he's really good at adapting and, like, making characters work.
He's one of the greatest pro wrestlers on the planet.
Dude.
So it's like he's going to take... And again, he can actually fit that character role. You know, that's the problem now. Vince wants all these characters. It's like, great. Well, then go hire actors, dude. Like, if this is the route you want to go, completely cool, fine. But you need to fucking hire folks that are going to work within the system that you want. You can't keep hiring these pro wrestlers in the hopes that they're going to be an actor.
Yep.
They're not actors. They're pro wrestlers, dude. Big difference, you know? Big fucking difference.
Yeah, the transition that they're trying to make is just weird.
Well, that's like even like Stone Cold and all them, like they go, and Cena and all them, they try to go do these movies. Like, and granted, Cena is a good actor. Like, Cena actually has the chops, you know what I mean? But not everybody can do that. Stone Cold tried to do it, failed miserably. His movies were not fucking good. You know what I mean? The Condemned, and, you know, the only good movie he was in was not his movie.
Yeah.
Was fucking The Longest Yard.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that was...
Yep.
Boy.
But he kind of plays himself a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like,
but it just, you know, it's like...
I hope it's kind of...
They're not...
You know what I'm saying. Obviously not the racist shit, but
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he was racist in that movie.
Well,
It was racist as fuck.
Well, yeah, because they're all the prison guards. Hello. It's a part of that movie. But anyway.
But yeah, it's frustrating, man. I just, you know, like even Mr. B said, you know, I think we're all kind of falling out of love with WWE right now. We're all starting to fall in love with the pretty girl over here in AEW. You know, she's, you know, starting to fucking, she's everything you want. You know what I mean? So it's like, why wouldn't I go over here?
She's everything you want.
I'm jaded.
She's everything you need.
I don't know, man. Maybe because we're in the generation that we are, this is the way we feel. I don't know how someone 10 years younger or older would feel, you know what I mean? But my opinion. Dude, it's just, the writing's just on the wall.
Well, those fans, the fans that are 10 years, you know, 15 years younger than us, they're in the woke culture. So they're the ones, they're like, you know, you give him a couple inside terms and he thinks he's a smart mark now. Yeah. And it's like, well, you're really not, though, because you keep asking, this person hurt? Oh, is this? Like, yeah. Well, no. Like,
if you knew, you would know.
If you knew, you would know. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the thing where everybody wants to be in the know now. And, you know, it's like, no, man, that's why kayfabe needs to come back in a fucking real hard way, man. Yep. Just make everybody just, you know, and here's the thing. People don't like getting worked, you know, and that's when they get all upset because they got worked, you know, and it's like, well, that's the thing, man. You got fucking worked. They got your ass.
I just don't like watching WWE because to me, I look at all those people and I'm like, God, they got to be miserable. They just look miserable. They don't look into it. They don't look like they want to be there. You know what I mean?
They don't want to be there.
I don't know.
The select few that want to be there are the ones that they actually write good for. You know, and then even some of them, like Charlotte, she's like, I could care less, man. Please get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. You know, if I'm going to work with shitty talent, dude, let me go to AEW and at least, you know, establish their division. You know what I mean? Because they got a lot of shitty talent there, you know, but at least they're fucking writing stories for them. At least their matches make sense.
And they're willing to work for real, like willing to work on their craft and really try to own it. In some regards, it seems like it. These guys are getting better and better every week, these guys and girls over there.
Yeah, on a weekly basis, and you can see them developing too. But here's the thing, man. The hierarchy there is actually helping. They're not like trying to hold anybody down because apparently the politics in WWE right now are at an all-time high. Yeah. Which blows my mind in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like, people are really protective over their spots and shit, and it's weird. It's like, okay,
because you're either at the top or you're fucking out of the door, basically. Like, seriously. I mean, honestly, because everyone that they're keeping on the roster, outside of a few fucking jobbers, I would say. They're trying to like be the top guys. You know what I mean?
And you're not allowed to do that. So it's a weird mentality. They're not allowed to go get over anymore, you know? That's why I don't understand Vince's mentality at all.
Dude,
it just doesn't make sense.
Finn Balor is all over the fucking place. Like all over the fucking place. Like he's in the title shot, or he's in like a, title contendership, but then Cena comes over and now fuck him. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm back." And then they're like, "Oh, fuck you." And then he's like, "I'm back." And then they're like, "Nah." Like, I don't know.
King of the Ring.
Weird. No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they put him in King of the Ring and they're like, "Nah." Like they just kind of keep like ping-ponging him back and forth too. So it's like, okay, well, I can't watch him in like a title contendership match and then the next week watch him in some bullshit squash match. Like, what is fucking happening? And what is this logic?
It's literally thrown together like there's no rhyme or reason. And that's my problem with WWE is there's no consistent flow of their show. They're just like, okay, what we did last week, yep, scratch that completely. We're going in a different direction, except for maybe like 3 storylines.
Yeah.
We're going to keep 3 storylines going. And then in one of those, that storyline's going to go for like 4 fucking months long. And they're going to have 17 matches between the two. And then they're never going to have a blow off. And they're never going to have a resolve and then on to the next. You know, it doesn't make sense.
Anyway, I think we've
exhausted that subject.
Yeah.
Beating that horse to death.
And we have, dude, in the past too, but...
Well, and it just goes back to like the Survivor Series team. Same thing. They're just, okay, here you go, guys. Here's your teams. It's like, okay, the SmackDown team is, we got Finn Balor, or I'm sorry, not Finn Balor. That's the Raw team. We got Sami Zayn. We got Corbin. We got Drew McIntyre. Fucking, who else?
For the men, let's see. So SmackDown. So McIntyre, Hardy, Wood, Zayn, and Corbin.
Yeah.
And then Raw is Rollins, Balor, KO, and Mysterios.
Yeah.
And then for women, Raw is Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv, Carmella, and Zelina Vega. Okay.
Yeah, thrown
and
together.
then SmackDown is Sasha, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and Aaliyah. And where the fuck has Natalya been?
Exactly.
Like, they just all of a sudden, oh, she's back.
She was out on surgery.
But
wasn't
here's
she
my
was,
thing
but
too.
then they fired what's her face, right? Her fucking tag team partner.
But why do you have Rhea Ripley in the other side? So only one half of the women's tag team champions.
Right.
You're not going to do both.
Right. And why are they even the tag team champions? Can we?
There's literally 0 tag teams and women tag teams in WWE.
Right.
0.
Yeah.
Just get rid of that fucking title
Please,
altogether.
just do. Because literally you have the 2 most random opposite people all of a sudden, for no fucking reason, paired together as a team because they fought Charlotte in a 3-way and now they're tagged up.
Oh yeah, and
Doesn't
by
make
the
any
way,
fucking sense.
on the SmackDown women's side, we got Sasha and Shotzi now are supposed to all of a sudden be cool and be on a team.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
After they just got done fighting, like, so they're supposed to just put their fucking differences aside for fucking brand pride?
No, because didn't you see, Sasha was out ringside fucking cheering her on. She's like, yeah, beat Charlotte's ass. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And then Shotzi beat her ass after the match was over with.
So weird, dude.
And they never even had a fucking callback to that this week.
No.
Like, was Sasha even on the show?
I don't recall.
Right. So it's like, what the fuck, man?
Well, and why would you take...
I didn't see it.
Well, and why would you be like, okay, so Nikki ASH, Charlotte, and fucking Shayna? No, excuse me. Why can't I think of her name right now? Rhea. So they're all the top 3 contenders for the title, right? And then you're going to take your top 2 contenders for the title and put them together as a tag team. What kind of fucking sense does that make?
0.
Why would you do that? You're literally like, why would you do that? And dude, and Rhea Ripley was on fucking fire, and I feel like
Such good shit.
I feel like her fire is burning out, dude.
Quickly.
Dude, like, she's not as popular as she used to be. The fans don't give a fuck about it. Like, they don't give a shit.
Again, it just goes back to, you got a monster heel on your hands, a monster heel, but you're a babyface.
Yeah.
It's Vince's weird thing, like even like Roman. Roman has been a forever heel. Ever since he was with the Shield, he was the muscle of the fucking Shield. He's always been a heel, but nope, he's baby. He's a babyface. We're going to push him as a babyface. No, man, you're doing it backwards. The best babyfaces are the best heels, man. It should not be the other way around. It's not going to be the best babyface turns into the best heel. No, the best heel is always going to be the best babyface. Like, you got to quit with this Hogan mentality, bro. It's not 1986 anymore. Fuck, man.
They just ruined her character, in my opinion, unfortunately.
They did. Dude, and she's got such a new, unique look, and she doesn't look like anybody else on the roster, and she's big and broad. She's a Viking.
Dude, Nikki is the Psycho. I loved her character then. That was, like, the best shit they had going for her. Like, now, if Nikki was, like, how she was then with Rhea, that makes total fucking sense. Yeah. Because they're both, like, little punk rock chicks, fucking, you know what I mean? Totally makes sense to me.
You got a little Spitfire, and then you got the muscle. Like, it would have been, that would have made more sense.
Totally, because she's, like, a little psycho chihuahua dog, and then Rhea's, like, you know what I mean?
The Great Dane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally,
Totally chill, and just, like, the fucking, you know, like, okay, it's kind of like Enzo and Cass. That's why that works so good, because, you got the little chihuahua with the fucking Rottweiler.
Dude, and even when she was paired up with, Alexa Bliss, I thought even that was entertaining. You know what I mean? Because she's like, she just acts like a psycho little best friend to fucking, and Alexa's like, okay, I guess we're together. Like, I guess you're just going to follow me around and we're friends or whatever. And she kind of like used her a little bit and manipulated her because she was like such a fan of, you know what I'm saying?
But then you can even tell the story inside of that. There's a story inside of that story. You know what I mean? That you can kind of like keep making bigger and bigger.
Well, and I've said that a million times when they repackaged Nikki, it made no fucking sense to me. I'm like, so she's a, what's happening? And then I don't know, man. And she's not in my opinion, I don't think she's bad on the mic, but with her accent, it makes it a little bit more challenging to understand as like a...
Yeah, so when she starts yelling and screaming, you're like, what is she even saying? I don't know, but it's great. It's like Asuka going fucking batshit crazy.
Absolutely.
Speaking in a different language, you're like, oh, she's pissed.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck she's saying, but she's mad.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Somebody does something.
So,
but in WWE's formula, it's tried and true. You know, Rhea's going to turn on Nikki. It's going to happen, and then Rhea will go back to doing her heel bullshit. You know what I mean? But it's everything is so predictable on that end. It's hard to watch, man.
I just don't like the full 180 of character flip-flops. Just like with Keith Lee, just like with Karrion Kross, they try to do like, they're just like, oh, you're just doing something different now. It's just different. You're not going to have any sort of hint of your previous character. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Because even Alexa Bliss, I'm not necessarily a fan of her character now, but they did a good job transitioning her from one to the other. In my opinion, it wasn't just kind of like, oh, overnight now she's this other person. Like, they did an okay, decent job at like telling a story to make her become this, like, you know what I mean? Like, other type of character with the demonic type shit taking over Bray Wyatt's bullshit or whatever.
So dumb. Like, that to me was like, and then even at Mania, you know, then you got, you know, The Fiend loses to Randy for whatever fucking reason, and then Alexa's there with all the black shit dripping down her face. It's like,
so I mean, but at least they tried to tell a story to transition her character. It's not like Nikki where they're like, you're a superhero now, even though you were literally a psycho punk chick fucking like 6 days ago. Like, it just makes no fucking sense. And like we don't remember who the fuck these people are.
Exactly. Well, no, that's what Vince doesn't believe that we remember or pay attention.
Dude, same thing with Doudrop. They should have never done that to her. She should have stayed Piper forever. It should have never changed.
Oh, you know what I love too? This is what I loved about AEW as well. So that match between Adam Cole and John Silver. Mm-hmm. So when he's calling him Budge now, and he's like, oh, nope, your new name, Adam Cole, is Budge. Because, you know, we're going to cut your hair, we're going to turn you into a manager, and we're going to change your name to Budge. Because, remember, that's what they were going to do. They were going to have Adam Cole cut his hair, be a fucking a manager for, like, Keith Lee or some shit.
Yeah.
So they're playing into these roles, which is so fucking smart, because it's for us, we're like, oh, they're digging WWE, I love this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it works, and it's making me, it puts a smile on my face, man. It makes me enjoy what I'm watching, because it's giving me that little aspect of realism that I want. You know,
and that's going back to it. That's what they're doing perfectly. They're putting just enough realistic shit in there to make it entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yep, and it's working.
It is working.
It's working, man. Working. You know, and the fans are all about it, dude. And like AEW could do no wrong right now. Like, we're still in the honeymoon phase, almost 2.5 years later,
dude.
And it doesn't seem like it's slowing down at all. So.
I'm falling more in love with it every day.
Yeah, man. I am more excited for anything AEW, even Rampage, for as bad as that show is. I look forward to that more than I look forward to Monday Night Raw on any week.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing, AEW.
Good job.
I applaud you.
Us pro wrestling fans appreciate you.
Yeah. SmackDown's been okay. Like I said, if Roman wasn't in the company, then WWE would be a giant shit show right now.
Yeah, who would it be?
It would be Seth.
It'd be the Usos.
Or Brock. Brock would probably still be there doing his thing and making the money, you know what I mean? But Roman, if it wasn't Roman, then, like, especially on SmackDown, it would have to be like Drew or, name other fucking big-bodied person,
Big E, I guess.
Oh.
God
damn it. We were just talking about that shit, AJ.
I know. Yeah, like.
Do you feel like his title reign's kind of falling flat right now?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Mike,
Yeah.
can you say it? Can you say it? Remember episode? If you guys want to go back into the archives, see AJ's on point now. If you guys want to go back into the archives and take a look at some of the stuff that I've said previously when it pertains to Big E, ladies and gentlemen, AJ was right.
Well, and you know what? I think it was what I was not anticipating was the change of character and the change of attitude and his change of, comedic timing and all that.
Yep.
He's not the same guy that he was before he won. Like when it was like Intercontinental Champion Big E, to me, I thought, okay, this is basically, we're getting a preview of what World Champion Big E is going to be.
Yeah.
Now that he's gotten the World Championship, they've completely changed who he is.
I am proper Big E, and I just only speak in complete full sentences and clearly now, and I don't ever make jokes or do anything outlandish.
Yeah, I'm not going to roll down the ramp or do any of the crazy shit that he did, which to me,
and all of his
that is
promos
Big
have
E.
become like, I'm about to cry almost is how it seems. He's just like, I don't want to say that in a weird way, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like when he's cutting promos, he's almost like so serious that he's like, yeah, if I say one more serious thing, I might break out in a tear or something. But there's nothing funny or entertaining about it at all.
I think my favorite Big E, since he's been on his own, was Money in the Bank Big E. Carrying around the suitcase and shit.
Laughing.
Laughing. Oh my God.
The fact that they split them up from the New Day really, really hurt him a lot. That dynamic I felt like was the best. And then, have him stay with that dynamic so he can still continue who he is. Then he's got muscle behind him too. It's like,
and we love a faction.
Everybody loves a
fucking faction. So why not keep them together? When they split them up again, I was actually kind of surprised.
Me too.
Because I thought, oh, for sure, they're going to put them back together now. They're going to keep, Kofi and Xavier together, and then they're going to let Big E have his thing. Because, interchangeable tag team, right? But they just kind of...
It's weird, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
I feel like this podcast is becoming redundant. We keep bitching and complaining about WWE sucking.
Yeah.
So are we going to call it a day then? Oh, well, winners and losers of the week.
Oh, yeah.
WWE seems to be the loser for you there, Mike. But go ahead. Who are the winners and losers of the week?
I'll actually give a loser this week because I don't think we did winners and losers last week, did we? For the Halloween special?
Yeah, I don't recall.
I'm not sure.
I'll start with my loser. My loser is Sheamus. Because where the fuck has he been, dude? Where the fuck he's gonna cause me to not fucking get any more. Look, he's got negative 11 points right now since I put his dumb ass in. Okay, like, bro, I know he broke his nose and he's probably healing or whatever, but he needs to get his shit together.
He needs to get it. Yeah, he needs to get it business.
Get your shit, put it all in a box.
So Sheamus is my loser this week because another -2, and I just can't keep doing this. These next 2 weeks can't get here soon enough, so I can just erase his ass off my roster. But yeah, that's my loser. Who you got, Kimmy?
Man.
And if you're not sure, then AJ or Mr. B?
Yeah, come back to me.
Charlotte.
Charlotte's your loser?
Charlotte's my loser.
She did get you -2 this week.
That's why.
She scored the least amount of points for you to anybody in your team. Who you got, AJ?
I'm going to go with someone who's not on the roster right now. And I'm going to go with me. I am the loser this week.
Well,
because I got the lowest amount of fantasy. I didn't watch shit this week.
He's like, I've just been down and out.
Life, man.
Hey.
I might as well be in Cam's corner.
Cam's corner.
Take it away.
He's away.
All right, Kimmy.
My loser's just, I'm going to say WWE and all their releases.
Yeah.
That was kind of a shock, to be fair. That was so many people all at once and so many people that I wasn't expecting. Then I was like, wow. Because some of the other releases, you're like, okay, all right, well, that one's kind of whatever. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, you do feel bad from it. In this one, I just felt like it.
Like, how do you release Cross, man?
That's what I'm saying,
dude.
dude.
Get it. He is tailor-made for WWE.
Dude, and you didn't even let him.
He is a legit character. Like,
they fucked up by not letting his girl come with him. They fucked up by, like, kind of. They just fucked up. They fucked up in general.
Yeah,
with putting him with fucking Keith Lee at the beginning, and then, you know what I mean? Like, the way that they did that whole thing was bad. I can't even speak full sentences and words because it was so fucking jumbled bullshit.
And he's legit crazy. Like, to me, he would have been a great fit, a great heel for any babyface champion on the roster. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to have Big E fight some crazy fucker, you know?
Yeah.
Feed him Karrion Kross, man, because Karrion Kross plays crazy very well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they just completely fucking ruined it. So, and it just doesn't make sense because with Vince, with his mentality, he's got a really hot blonde, you know, on his arm.
That's
like
exactly what I thought.
Some arm candy. He's a good looking dude. He's put together. Like, he's in shape. He's a big jacked up dude. Like, what is there? And he's a legit fighter, man. Like, what is there not to fucking?
But he has to have a character, and that's the problem.
Well, he has one.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Like, they just don't know what to do with him. They're like, let's just reinvent the wheel with this guy, and we're going to put him in a fucking Spartan helmet and a goddamn axe and smash get up and Demolition 2.0.
That's what I mean. There's no need for that. Anyway, who's your winner?
Okay. That is a really good question. So, my winner this week, damn, dude, there's actually quite a few that I could say. I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson is my winner this week because he puts on great matches. I don't necessarily agree with the way they're booking him as far as who they got him fighting. Like, they had him fighting fucking Bowens this week on Rampage, which that made no sense. But, you know, he's stepping up. He's having great matches. You know, his character is, you know, still hotter than ever. Not to mention Moxley before he checked himself into rehab, which he could have been a winner of mine too, just for his own personal, you know, demons, as far as just reaching out and getting help. But
yeah, he's my honorable mention. I'm not gonna lie, Moxley is my honorable mention.
Same. But even Moxley said that Bryan Danielson is the greatest pro wrestler to ever do it. I mean, that came out of his mouth. So, and it's hard to argue, man. I mean, for his size and in the time that he came in, dude. Look what he did. He's a multiple time world champion in the land of giants.
He got over organically, dude. Just like
he got over. I think he's the last one to get over super organically, where Vince is like, "Fuck this, we're not doing this anymore." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's a shame. But Bryan Danielson is my winner, nice. And he's in the #1 contendership match. So, who you got? Who's next?
Well, I'll go with my winner.
You got it? Okay.
If you don't mind. Yeah. So my winner of the week, like I said, shout out to Mox because you are my honorable, but is Randy Orton. And here's why. Did anybody hear the pop he got on Monday?
Bro, he's so mega over. Like,
that mofo is so over. I mean, him and Riddle are going to be just great rivalry once that shit starts.
Hey, I hope this shit goes backwards, and I hope Riddle turns on Randy. I hope Randy comes out of this the baby, and I hope Riddle's the fucking heel. Wouldn't that just be a complete swerve?
Yeah.
And I think Riddle can play a great heel. You know what I mean?
They won't do that, though.
They won't, because WWE knows how to fuck up everything, you know?
Yeah, and plus Randy's a better heel.
Not gonna lie, I feel Randy is probably the best heel that WWE has right now.
Dude, he might be one of the greatest heels of all time.
Yeah.
Like, he's a forever heel. So that's why it's like, damn, he's so...
legend killer.
Yep. Damn sure is.
The punter.
Z punter.
Randy, I like that. All right, who you got?
Yeah, Randy.
Mr. B.
Okay. I would have to say this feud with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston is...
strong promos,
yeah.
Man. God, that was such a good promo.
Dude, they just... even how they fucking started fighting in the ring after just going back and forth in each other's fucking faces.
It made me want to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I had zero interest in this program going forward.
I don't know much
after
about,
that.
I don't know much about Kingston. because I really haven't seen him until before AEW, of course.
Same, me neither.
Same.
Like I'd seen a little Impact.
He
but
doesn't have the body. He doesn't. I'm not gonna lie, but he has the attitude, and he has just the mentality of a New Yorker and everything too. So it just all.
Hey man,
I don't know. He's a
how you
brawler.
doing
He's a
over there?
brawler.
Yeah, pro wrestling's supposed to be ugly. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be ugly. So when you got guys like him that don't have the body, it fits, man. He's a great he's a legit great promo today.
Yeah,
like one of the better promos in the world right now, and he's very believable. His in-ring work it could be better. You know what I mean? But again,
he makes up for
It's
it.
not
his
all about
story
that,
is what
yeah.
gets us invested.
You just better not wear that green and white ever again. He look like a pack of Newports over here, like you got at the bodega down the block. I was looking at him. I'm like, yo, he look like one of them signs. Okay, so anybody from New York listen to this, you already know. He like one of them signs outside the bodega. That's the advertisement that shows the Newports on sale in there. It's got the big green and white poster, and it says the Newports on sale and tells you how much they are. That's what I thought Eddie
Newports.
Kingston. I was like, dude, did the wall of a bodega just come alive?
Dude, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but when I first started smoking cigarettes, I started smoking Newports. Those were the first cigarettes I smoked.
Because you black. I told you this before.
Honorary BBG.
Honorary BBG.
Well, yeah, that shit was rough, man.
You know me. Got a BBG.
It was Marlboro Reds for me, man.
Oh, yeah.
Marlboro Reds
A
and
honky tonk.
Budweiser.
Oh god,
had that
the
was-
worst combo ever.
And I did
God.
them both at the same day, first time.
I'm
like,
sorry, but Kimmy, your
your first
breath was
beer and
not-
your first cigarette at
Yep.
the same time?
Yep.
Holy
I
shit.
Yeah, I got
okay.
invited to a birthday party, and this chick, basically her parents were never there, and she was being watched by her older brother, who was about 15 at the time. And so they're like, yeah, here, have some beer, have some fucking... So yeah, Marlboro Red and a fucking Budweiser was like my introduction to like
Kimmy,
doing bad shit.
your breath had to be so disgusting right at that moment.
Dude, I'm sure it was.
Oh, I'm thinking of like a Marlboro
Dude.
and a fucking Bud, but oh.
And it was just me and like four of my girlfriends, basically. We were all just hanging out, drinking beers and smoking cigarettes, being bad, you know? I can remember thinking, if she invites me to her birthday party next year, I'm going. Like,
I know, right? This is it.
and I did. And it was fun. Anyway.
So who's your winner?
So actually, I was going to piggyback off Mr. B because that was
Nice.
also my pick as well. Because, dude, their promo was so good. And I loved right at the end, right when you think they're done. And they're like, all right, I'm going to see you then at Full Gear.
Yeah, Full Gear.
So I'm going to see you at Full Gear, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why don't you go ahead and quit for another 7 years, blah, blah, blah. And then CM Punk's like, headbutt. And,
Yeah.
dude, that shit. And then all the refs came running out, which I loved that, dude. Because we always think that in WWE, too, that's kind of where they're missing stuff. It's like, so the ref's not going to break this up? So they're not going to break this up. They're just going to be like, get off of her. Get off of her. It's like,
They're
okay,
just
but...
they're gonna stand there and point and do
Yeah.
all these weird gyration moves and
Like that
Oh.
one chick. That one chick.
no.
That chick, she makes me so angry. Anyway.
I'm watching a video game in live person.
But yeah, that whole segment, dude, was so good. And it seemed very authentic. And again, they're pulling the reality out of like talking shit about their backstage and all that. So that was my winner. I thought that was super entertaining this week. Again,
I like
good job,
it.
AEW.
AEW's killing it right now, man. On every aspect, they're killing it. Even with the Dark Order and the Elite, man. Like, I don't like the Dark Order at all. But they keep bringing me back into the story every fucking week. You know
Well, and
what
I like
mean?
how they're like jointhedarkorder.com. Like they have that fucking
Yeah.
website. Oh, it's cracking me up. Like it's a whole goddamn.
Did you join?
I did not.
I'm curious on if when Wyndham shows up, if he's going to be tied to them at all in any way, shape, or form.
I wonder.
Because they're so goofy and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And Brody was, tied to it. So, and that's like his best friend. And
Yeah, he shapes them up. He makes them real. He makes it like
turns
Well,
into a
they're
legit faction.
babies too.
Yeah.
They're babies. They're not.
Well,
I mean, they're the Dark Order, but they're babies. You know, it does.
Dude.
To me, it doesn't go very well. They should. Be
Could you
Yeah.
could you imagine them doing a Whole World in His Hands remake?
Well, I'm just curious because if he was to do that, I feel like he needs to bring some muscle with him. Like, I feel like he would need to bring Braun with him, man.
Here's the thing, though. I don't want that, personally. Like, I don't want them to keep retelling WWE storylines on AEW. You do something new, do something fresh and different. I don't need it. Because I was telling you guys, I think, off the record last week sometime, basically, like, I kind of, I don't know. I just miss the way that they used to do things. It's really sad.
It was a long time ago.
The storylines
long
have been
time ago.
The storylines are good. I mean, and to me, the credit to AEW is their storylines are everybody has a storyline going.
Well, I just
Everybody
like when
has
Jericho
something
used to
happening.
like shut that shit down. He's like, no, that shit's dead. Goodbye. Moving on.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want them
that
to
was
start...
a bad idea from bad creative, and that's dead.
Exactly. So like, no, I don't want to see him come in with Braun. I don't want to see any of that. Like, I don't want to see a reinvention of any prior fucking storylines. That's just my opinion. I think it all needs to be fresh and new. And
Well, because when he shows up, he's going to be a huge babyface.
Dude,
Like, he's
of
going to be a
course.
huge babyface. So it's like, but at some point, everybody that's coming in, though, has been a babyface. They got to, well, I don't know, Malachi, not so much. I would say,
yeah, he's kind of neutral.
and same thing with Andrade, same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love...
but they're, and Andrade's working with the Pinnacle and MJF, and it's like, they're establishing folks, and they're doing it the right way, man. And I don't know.
Dude, MJF
Kudos.
fucking being like, what do they call it? Robert De Niro? And he's like, oh, De Niro? Like money, you fucking asshole? Oh my God, that shit is so funny to me. Andrade's like, De Niro means everything.
Andrade's a fucking mega superstar, man.
He is.
Just
Yeah, he definitely
his
is.
presentation,
Plus,
and
he is getting
he's
ripped as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I know he was already in shape, but even looking at him in this most recent promo, he's just in pants with no shirt. His shoulders are just like so wide.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Is Charlotte working him out?
I guess so. Shit. Fuck. They're doing a lot of gymnastics.
can't wait
and
till
some-
Charlotte
They do
shows
post
up,
a lot
dude.
of pictures together at the gym and shit as well.
I can't wait for
And
I cannot
vacation.
wait for that power couple to be a real thing on AEW television,
That'll be
dude.
great.
It's only a matter of time,
And
right?
Charlotte's the best ever, dude. So she just deserves it.
So what's
She
going to happen
truly is.
when Andrade and Charlotte team up to fight Adam Cole and Britt Baker, baby?
Oh God.
Hey, man,
Adam Cole and Britt Baker are gonna lose.
yeah. Yeah,
First of
dude.
all.
I'm sorry, but Charlotte
Is
Charlotte is
they're
god
gonna
level
lose.
when it comes to
Yeah.
pro wrestler, dude.
she's like, and she knows it too.
She's Hogan level already. Like she
Yeah.
has,
Dude said God level. Ooh.
Am I
Dude,
wrong?
She's has to be the top professional female wrestler of all time.
She definitely is. Like she's the most established. She's the best worker. It's tough, man, worker wise, because I mean Bailey's really good. Sasha's goddamn really good.
Dude, she's just so fucking athletic. It's insane.
But yeah, she's bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's
She
she's
just
way
has a
more
dominating
athletic.
presence, and she's very arrogant, and I like that.
She's a Flair, man.
I like it.
Woo.
So bring Ashley Flair over to AEW. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. AJ, are you hungry yet?
I already started snacking.
Oh, okay.
I
think
got
we're,
my
Snacks?
nuts.
I think we're done. I think there's we've pretty much
That's it.
covered everything there is to cover this week.
It's
so,
squashed. We're good.
Yeah, we're done.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess
All right.
that's the end of it.
Let's ring the bell.
Let's
get out
ring
of
it.
here. All right, y'all. For everybody here at MACKDOwn Podcast, subscribe,
next
like,
time.
comment, share. We're out.
Damn, I didn't even hit a at MACKDOwn Podcast today. What's wrong with me? Oh my God.
Yeah, you were on it, but not that on it.
Yeah, I wasn't on it.
Get it together, man.
At MACKDOwn Podcast, make sure you follow us, and we'll see you next time right here on the MACKDOwn Podcast.
Bye bye.
There you go.
Bye. There was this thing last night where it's like, yeah, I heard baking helps with anxiety and depression. So I made this pie, but it turned out wrong. So then I made this other pie, and also this one. Then I made Rice Krispie treats. That's not really baking. Then I made banana bread, and now I'm making cookies. And when does the pain stop? Dude, same thing with Jägermeister.
I
fucking
love-
hate Jägermeister, but that's the first one I'm going for if I'm camping because I want to get fucking drunk.
Yeah, like just take a couple shots real quick of fucking Jaeger, and you're right there. You're good. Just just be ready to be violently ill. Soon.
I stood in the shower and was just like, what is happening to me?
Was it one of those where you put your hand on the wall and you're just like,
Yeah. You just like, you're trying to breathe. You're making that weird.